Hello, all. Welcome in. Hello. This week has just felt forever long. I don't know what it was, man. This was just a week. Glad to be here. Glad to be at this point. But welcome in. Good to see y'all. Ready for the weekend. Fifth. Thank you for the sub, dude. Farrell, thank you for the bid. I appreciate you, man. Hi. All right. Ba-da-ba. Okay. Ready to rock. What up, peeps? We're going to go and get Faz open now. We're going to go ahead and open it now, man. We're not going to waste some time. I'm tired. I'm tired, but we need to wake up. It is a must. Finally prestige. Nice. Party time. Something like that. It's something like that. Yeah, Scar, welcome in, dude. How are you? Leo, how are you? Welcome in. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? How was the week for everyone else? Friday night Faz. Amen. Repo was a blast, man. That was so funny. That was so freaking funny. And I played yesterday with a bunch of the friends, with Break and Glay. They were both streaming. Oh, it was so funny. That game was just so good. Oh my God, Tika was there. Yeah, it was so funny, man. We had some moments. There are some funny things that happened. You know, Break throwing me into a pit. That was rude. But now she has to watch her back every time she ever plays a game with me. So, we will learn. We will learn. Oh, man. Nervy Jane, thank you so much for the 16 months. Welcome back, friend. Welcome. Oh, you missed that part? Oh, just go check her social media. Oh, she posted it everywhere. Live Love Guard, how are you? What up, Copper? Hi, homie. Right on time. Mr. Halogen made it to the bottom of the lighthouse. Let's go. How are you, friend? Phasmo, bro. Good to see you. Monarch, thank you for the 1 year. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Do I play it on Wednesdays? Recently, especially, yes. Playing Repo. Yeah, because Wednesdays are my whatever Wednesdays. So we play different games at that point. I need to make like a different scene entirely when I move my cam, because I move my alerts every time. Yeah, craziness. Blondie, hello, friend. April, hello. Speed, what's up, dude? 'Tis my birthday. It is your birthday. Halogen, happy birthday, dude. I hope it's been the bestest birthday. I hope it's been great, dude. Happy birthday. All right, let me scroll back up. Oh, Beth, it's your birthday too? All right, well, I guess we need a blanket happy birthday for the day and every other day. Shut your lips. Wildcat, thank you for the 2 months, man. Should you be doing Apocalypse 3 at Prestige 2? Do you feel comfortable playing Apocalypse 3 at Prestige 2? It doesn't matter what prestige or level you are. It's just a matter of how comfortable you feel. If you feel comfortable doing prestige, if you feel comfortable doing Apocalypse 3 runs and you've been playing the game for 10 hours, do it. The only thing you're going to lose is time, dignity, respect. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. I feel it. I'm good. Maybe. Hey, Vault. Good to see you. A lovely shade killed me on my birthday. Oh, that's cute. Get out of here. How was the day? The day was good, man. I'm just tired. This week has been one hell of a week just because I've like rather than just slowly like ease myself into trying to change my lifestyle a little bit, I just kind of went full send. So a little tiring right now at this point, but I'm pumped every day to try to be better. So I've been really good through the entire week. I've been a good boy. I've been good boy. But it's Pizza Friday, so like I'm considering that's like my cheat day, which I think is absolutely fair. Absolutely fair. Any tips to complete APOC 1 through 3? Patience, dude. Patience. All the patience. Will we get a mimic today? I hope so. I hope so. I love a mimic. I hope so. You got scammed? Like an actual scam? If it's an actual scam, I would report it. Yeah. Relentless, thank you for the biddies. No, it's a fart train. Wait, what? Wait, what? Carrier, thank you for the 9 months. It's a baby. Playing fast for the first time with my dad tonight. Oh my God, Iron Lady. Please let us know if you live. Keep us posted, friend. Thank y'all for the hype train, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, dude. Blurb is a thing, you know? It's something. What is that something? Why are there ads? No, this on the side. I don't know. I'm not running ads. Was that like a triple? What the hell was that? What makes it worth it to Prestige? Just continually challenging yourself, in my opinion. That's one of the main reasons that I do it. Continually challenge yourself. Teddy, I don't have answers for you, dude. I have 0 answers. Juju, hello. Oh my God, things and stuff. It's a Peggy for 32 months. Oh my God. Was it a quad? Did I? What is the best mode to play on? Whatever mode you like the most that challenges you. In my opinion, I think that you're going to have game modes that you really enjoy for the simple fact that sometimes you want it to be a little bit easy. But in my opinion, I like Nightmare because it challenges me while at the same time is not so challenging that it's annoying. So it's fun. Yeah. Night Shadow. What up, Emery? Hello. Oh, Kirby, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Twitch, thank you for the sub. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hope you had a good poop today. I did. It was glorious. I have to get used to playing alone. I started with a full group and now they don't play. I mean, you can always find other people to play with. Searching other Discords, the main Phas one, content creators, communities. There's lots of different areas that have a lot of people that play Phas. So it's just a matter of kind of just venturing out a little bit and getting yourself into those communities. If you see people in an open VC and they're playing and you just want to watch and hang out and chill, just join. It's no biggie, Smalls. Yeah. Courtney, hello. I think one of the biggest thing, or one of the hardest things that I've seen ever since having a Discord, a community and everything for some people is being the first person to join a VC. Nobody wants to be the first one. But if you go out of your way, get out of the box a little bit, be the first one to join, you're going to realize sometimes nobody's going to join because no one's available. But then other times they don't want to be the first one, but they see someone else there. So they go, oh, well, I want to see what's up. So then they join. And then somebody else goes, oh, well, there's people in VC. Okay, well, I'll now join. But it's almost like they forget it exists unless they see others doing it. Yeah, Juju, I want to too. Like, I want to jump into the VCs that I see that pop up in mine. Just pop in and just hang out for a bit, even if I can't play or anything. Yeah. Hey, Rogue, good to see you. Love the repo streams. Watch every solid. It was, man. I like. There was a moment. There was a pretty great moment during. I got Glaze's point of view, his POV yesterday, We were trying to headbutt the crap out of that big big floating head guy. Yeah, it didn't end well, but you know what though? I think it was A for effort. We tried really hard. Really, really hard. Courtney, thank you for the subs, dude. I figure we do our jibber jabbers while staring at this screen, and then we can get right into the games. I figured that'd be a good idea. Not too bad. Connie, thank you for the 5. Hello. Hey, Sinister. How's it going? It's going well, friend. Trying to wake up a little bit. Just tired. Just tired. Spooky Time Pizza, what up, man? Golduck, how are you? Welcome in. Abstract Amanda. Oh my god. Thank you for the biddies, dude. How's the week? It just felt long. The week just felt long, man. What up, Iron? We'll wake up with some games. I'm sure Ghosty will try to make me crap my drawers, so that'll wake us up a little bit. Like, I'm getting random stuttering, and I don't know what's going on. I'm noticing it in my mouse. Like, it's not actually my mouse. Callie, thank you for the biddies. A good crappening should wake you up. Yeah, I think so too. This week was long. I thought so, man. It definitely felt like it. Kate, thank you for the 3 months. Hello. I'm gonna keep doing this for a second and just see what happens. Maybe it's my mouse. I have a wireless, so like I plugged it back in and it seems okay right now. Twitch, LJ, it's probably not best to do that inside of a chat. Yeah, usually I collab with people that I know. Love the streams. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, dude. Rogue, thank you for the gifted subs. The interface is haunted. Well, tell it to stop. Here, we'll do this while we're waiting. We'll upgrade our stuff. We're trying to get away. Dude, even that. Oh my God. I'm not dropping frames or anything and nothing is too heavy, but oh shit. No, it's all good, dude. I'm just giving you some heads up because other people are probably going to say the same thing. It's definitely best to just try to like DM somebody instead of in chat like, hey, I want to do a collab. Yeah. Are you doing more collabs? I've always, just randomly. I don't have any that are planned right now. Not yet. See, I didn't even answer you and you said with who? You doing more collabs? With who? When is it? Is it tomorrow? Is it at 3 p.m. or a.m.? When am I going to try Tom's challenge? Probably not. Probably not. Have you watched Mike doing Tom's challenge? Do you know how long he's been playing that? Did you figure out it was disconnected? No, no idea. Nope, not a clue. Hey, Nocturnal, what up, man? No clue. All right. Enable. I think I've got everything to the max. Yeah. And then we'll do some nightmare games. Peek it in. What's up, Minnie? How are you, man? Fraser, thank you for the follow. What is this Tom's challenge? This Tom's challenge is doing 100 nightmare games back to back without messing up. Now I say back to back, but like I know Mike's doing his challenge and he's taking breaks. So it's hard to say. What up, Zero? Hi, homie. You mentioned you were going to try before Bleeds out. Yeah, you know, I thought I was going to. And then I realized with all the stuff that is happening right now in the game, I don't like that idea. There's a lot of areas where like hiding is messed up. Different things are messed up. I'm like, I'm not going to try that right now. 100 perfect nightmare games. Correct. If you do not get a perfect game, you lose and you must go back to the beginning. Now, the reason I stated before why I was hesitant to do it is just because trying to make that the only thing you do for an extended time for a long time, I just don't know if I could do that. Yeah. Have you had any lag issues on Phas? Maybe some stuttering here or there. It's not been too crazy, but we'll see what happens today. Even Tom was saying he thinks the challenge isn't good to do right now. Yeah. I don't think the way the state of the game is good to do it right now. I feel like so many people just check the rude. Yeah. So we're not going to worry about that. No. Not today, especially. Is any map you can do this? Is it any map you can do? It's, I believe I believe it's random, but they were not, I don't know about Tom, but I know Mike is not actually using this random. He has all the maps on a wheel. So it's not pick your map. It's random map. That way you're not just doing 100 willows back to back. Yeah. Mr. Song, hello. Have you had your game crash back and back to back when playing with other? No, I haven't. That blurb is diabolical. The wheel's a good idea. You know, it's funny. I think so too, but I'm fairly certain he had like a couple prisons back to back because of the wheel. I think, if I recall. All right. Yeah, but Tom has stated that he has also seen the game sort of laggy a little bit, or it's been a little stuttery. So he said that what was happening for him was, even though he had his frames limited, they weren't actually limited, and it was doing unlimited frames, and it was really messing him up. So yeah, we're not doing crazy challenges until that stuff is fixed for sure. Yeah, Rage, thank you for the 4 months. Hello. What location am I starting with? What a great freaking question. And you can smell me. I feel bad for you. I haven't showered today yet. I don't know. Where should we start? Milan, what up, man? Dom, hello. Preston, welcome. Neo, Bunky, Toasty, Potato, what up, dudes? How we doing? Royal with the 16 months. What up, man? Comfy Willers. What's the plan? We're doing nightmare games, man. Can you play with me? No, that's why the title says Solo Nightmare. Perkani, what up? Tangles, classic Tangles, Woodwinds, High School. Well, the song just got unmodded. That sucks. Can I play with you, please? Here, let's try this one more time. The title says Solo Nightmare, so I'm doing Solo Nightmare. There's a key word in there. I'm gonna let you figure out which one it is. It's a good one. Willow's where you always start. I try to change it up a little bit. Do some Willers. I will 1,000,000% do some Willow. 1,000,000%. Bama, what up, man? Chat chooses map. Oh, so go to high school? Well, you know what? Here, we'll start that. We'll start that way. We'll do random. It'll probably give me high school anyway. That's my luck usually. That's rude. Love the vids. Thanks, man. Appreciate you, dude. Why not do it in order? Nah. I could, but nah. I know, like, I've mentioned it before, but like Wolfen does that. Wolfen will do every single map, but I don't think he does them in order though. But when he plays, every day he plays every single map, which is a good idea because then you get some variety. If everybody has different favorite maps or whatever, then there you go. I get it's annoying when people ask, but it's something that makes me not want to watch streamers when they get rude with people. People spend their hard-earned money on you, and in return you act disrespectful. I don't get it. So the problem there is that you are assuming because someone is coming in here and they're spending money that I just have to be the nicest ever, and I can't defend myself when somebody is being adamant after I've already tried to correct. That's the problem. That's the problem. No, sorry, man, can't do. Sorry, man, you can't play. You know, like, so I don't know how many times you've been to my stream before, how often I do that. But when someone is spamming, can I play? 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 That is when all niceness goes out the window. It's one thing if like, hey man, can I join? I'm doing solo today. It's another thing when I see someone spamming, can I join, can I join, can I join? Saying it wasn't the best impression. But you're also assuming that I'm only streaming in one location when on YouTube I just had someone spam over and over and over again, can I play, can I play, can I play? Yeah. Makes it funny. I just move on. I just move on. Yeah. Somebody asks once, usually there's somebody that answers and says, oh, no, it's solo today. Or there's a viewer day that happens there's a viewer day that happens next week or next month or whatever. But when someone's spamming it, I'm not going to sit there and be kind to them. Yeah. Why can't we have a chill Friday? No, it is a chill Friday. No, it is a chill Friday. Spicy sometimes. Dude, it happens. Again, but I'm not going to be kind to people that are spamming and trying to be rude because I want to play, I want to play, I want to play. Chill but sassy. Amen. Give advice for a professional to Nightmare? I absolutely can. Why don't we talk about it while we do our first map? How dare you? Alyssa, thank you for the 5 months. Kate, thank you for the 13. Appreciate you, man. Oh, my word. Chaos Friday with a hint of sass. I'm cool with it. I like it. Oh, left AirPod. I appreciate you. Just wait till we see right AirPod. Just wait till we see right AirPod. It'll be a good day. All right. Let me make sure I've got all this lined up and then we'll be ready to go. We will be ready to rock. Ghost will be a Raju. Roger that. Oh, roger that. All right, let's see. There. Okay. Scotty, what up, man? Get out of here. All right, random nightmare, please. It could be worse. It could be worse. Have you tried out a console yet? I have not. No, I have not. I want to at some point. I think I need to get everything figured out with capture card and all that jazz if I want to stream it. I could just play it and then just let you guys know how I felt about it, which would be totally fine. But for streaming it, I would have to spend some time to figure all that out. I don't know what the visual difference would be if I would be playing it on console, if you guys would go, oh, he's playing on console, or if you would even be able to tell. Outside of using a controller, which would be a nightmare. Charlie, what up, man? Zach, what up? Welcome in. All right, we're good. You can tell? Okay. You know what I'll have to do? That's something I haven't done. I'll have to go to YouTube. I'm sure there are countless people that have posted videos about them playing on console. I'll have to watch some console gameplay. I've probably seen it, to be fair, because I'm sure people have been streaming it. So I just need to go watch it. How do you feel being dropped in it? You know what, Break? You listen here, dude. You listen up, bucko. It's not going to be good for you. Just to be clear. Oh my God. Neo, it's probably not best to do it in chat, friend. It's going to get, it'll get lost or it'll get intertwined. If anything, if you're looking to like start game, if you want to find other people to game with, whatever it may be, you could check my Discord. You can go to the Phaz looking for group channel. You can start something there. You can go to the Phaz Discord and start something there. But in chat, probably not the best place, but thank you. Yeah. Oh my God. Tex, thank you for the subs, man. All right. Is my game loud enough? I think it is. I think we're good. Controller's painful. Just not used to it, man. All right. How does the game feel right now? The reason I'm just being so hesitant right now is because the way Tom was talking about video, it has me a little bit on the scared side. So if I start getting laggy, if it gets really jumpy, please just tell me and we'll figure it out. Yeah. What up, Minnie? I've decided to take, hold on. Would you say 0? I've decided to take on the dumb project of documenting all the maps in panorama so you can view each room in 3D. 0? I thought about that the one day. I'm so glad that you have the capability of doing that. I thought about that, about how cool it would be to be on a browser and be able to literally go through the map as if it's like the Google whatever drop the guy on the map thing. But then I was like, oh, well, I don't know how to do any of that. So I'm just going to sit here quietly and shut up. Oh my God. Hey, what up, Sam? How are you, man? Might have to give it a follow. Beast, welcome in. Forgot Tom was playing the controller. Yeah, he's a controller main. Alrighty, Susan Todd. Capture a photo of the ghost, get a ghost to blow out of firelights, and have a member witness a ghost event. And I already felt lagged. Literally doing this. Doing this, I felt lag. I might have to go into NVIDIA and check and see what the... I might have to limit the frames there because, dude, it's jumping like this. I'm not dropping any frames at all. Nothing is overloaded, although Phaz is running pretty damn heavy right now. I'm just walking back and forth, and you can see it jumping. A virtual walkthrough would be awesome. We're just doing this just to see, because what if it's not happening out here, but it's happening in there? If it's happening in other places, it could be memory leaks. You hate Point Hope? Point Hope's fine. I mean, it's a media map now, which makes it way nicer. Way nicer. We had a mimic mimicking a Dio on the weekly. Oh. Dangerous. Dangerous. I had to limit my frames for the same issue. Oh. Jumped 8 OBS because it said it was going to be a butt. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Rayla, thank you for the 15 months, dude. Point out for medium makes it worth playing until you get the ghost at the top floor, which I get probably 80 to 90% of the time. So out there, it felt perfectly fine, but in here, it did not. So we will, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We're just going to run the map. And if we run into issues, I'll go to NVIDIA after this one and mess with the stuff. Yeah. All right, let's get flashlights. We'll do thermo, EMF. I honestly don't know what the best is for right now, but we're going to go with this. What's better to stream with? I don't know. I like OBS. I haven't used Streamlabs, so I can't give you a definitive on that. There's probably tons of videos that go over both, though, to be real. Yeah. Ghost Dave, be kind to me, please. This hiding, which a lot of people don't like. I don't know. I said don't like, but I usually don't have a problem. I said usually as I kind of got caught. Is the shower hiding spot? It is. It's just really dangerous. The ghost can just randomly go into that spot, which sucks. Your family played the weekly. All three of you died. To a... Were you trying to say Dio? What? Or demon? I'm confused. No mirror. Moving on. Mercury, what up? Let's get a light or two on. Yeah, I'm noticing it. I think it's Phaz. It's Phaz running heavy. Okay. I'll have to look and see what suggestions he gave me. Because I think we might have to implement some of them. Oh, Kev! Oh my word. Oh my God. Mr. Kev, holy shit. Surprised you playing Point Hope. Oh, well, it's random. Funny you say that. It was random that took me here. Kev! Oh my God, thank you, dude. What is up? We're chilling, man. Trying to wake up a little bit. I'm just tired today. It was just a really long week. Not necessarily a bad week. Oh, hi. Why does Frank look so sad? Oh, Frank. I haven't heard anything, by the way. Which means it's probably going to be freeze. I mean, it's probably going to be cold breath right here. Let's see. I've gotten the ghost here every time I've played Point Hope recently. Oh, Mr. Chingus. I took a nap. I was too tired. Yeah, man. Just rough. It was just a long week. Oh, you suck. The biggest butt. Close enough, man. It's... Whatever, dude. Fallen Star, hello. How's the hunting going? We just started, friend. We just started. Same room you had last time. Oh, I thought it was the room below that. Close enough to the top. It's basically there. Gosh darn it. I'll just leave this here. Whatever. This game listens. I'm convinced it's DK just staying awake all night pressing buttons. We're gonna put the room up top. Oh shit, stop. Hey, what up, CD? Do I play on Steam? I do. I do. I've never played on console before. Had a phantom in that spot last time I went to Point Hope. Ooh, fun. In a bun. Alright, we should be okay in the light department. Alright, time to be a damn choo-choo train. Go up and down, up and down. Can I up those shoes? I probably could. The ones there at the front? Absolutely. Let's do this guy. This guy. Maybe we'll get lucky. Dude, yeah. Oh my god. Look at the jumpiness when I go back out to here. Look at this. Okay. Interesting. Intradasting. Let me try something. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to. Just to see what it does. Hey Max, how are you? I just want to see if it changes any of the performance. It doesn't look like it is. Yeah, it was very, very framey. I felt it. They are being spicy. I don't understand why it's running like that, though. That doesn't make any sense. Fog always kills your frames. That's interesting. I think it's Phasmophobia weird. I think it is too, but trying to get to the bottom of it is the biggest thing. Cause like I feel like I see it here. I think it has to do with the frames. No, I was doing here. We'll do this. Dragon! Thank you for the raid. What up, dude? Persona 3 Reload. What is that? What is that? Will Up Rocks, how are you? First stream able to catch. Welcome in, man. Well, I've never heard of that before. I found it's worse when you're running while turning one direction straight from the other direction. But why? It is so freaking weird. For now, I'm gonna turn that off. Yeah, like, oh my god, I felt it right there. That game is great? Oh shit, alright, well I'll have to check it out. I ain't never heard of it. Where am I? There we go. Let's do... Can I put this on a... I could try like this. Oh, I can't put it on the railing! Alright, well that's fine. I can just do this. I guess that's fine. That'll do, pig. That'll do. No freezing. I haven't heard a single EMFer. Oh my God. I will catch up in a second, friends. I'm just trying to stay alive. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Holy shit. King, thank you for the 4. Welcome back. What up, Zach? Oh, thank you for the gifted, dude. And Pocket Problem, thank you for the 10 months. My goodness gracious. What days of the week do I go live and what time? If you do exclamation point schedule CD, you can see when I go live as just a visual representation. But I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8:30, and Sunday at 1, and that is all Eastern. That is all Eastern. Tripod for the dots. What? Hey, soldier, what up, dude? Demon. We're just trying to get through this map so we can figure out the lag stuff that's happening. It's weird. It's been really weird. To take more photos. Never realized the power the photos had. Well, when you get perfect games, if you can do it in a reasonable amount of time, it's definitely not bad, man. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Song. All right, let's watch this and see if we get any information. What is my favorite item? I don't know. It used to be, I don't know, tier 3 dots is pretty cool. It's pretty rad. Yeah. It's in the title CD. Yeah. Nightmare. Galaxy Wolf, hello. How are you? What's up, Dancer? If I get one of these, it will save me some time, knowing that we already have one, so we just need to get one more. It is Nightmare, so we're going to get 2 pieces of evidence, not 3. Christine, welcome in. What's up, Cinna? I don't know if my book is still over there, if that is it or if it's not. I can't tell. Bally, hello. This ghost is going to be stingy. It's not going to give us what we need. It's not going to give it to us. It happens. Point Hope, that's rare. It was random. Okay, I didn't choose it. It was random. Why don't I choose Point Hope? Where do you think my ghost is? Sure, it's haunted. I'm not even sure at this point. Maybe it's just really cold. Get ready for Nightmare. No evidence. Ooh, gonna do some no evidence fun. Ooh, it's a nice. No evidence is a nice brain teaser. It really makes you try to be efficient at checking for these ghosts, so you're not spending 5 hours in a map. So it's really fun. I like it a lot. At the top, oh yeah, of course. I'm 1 level from the top. And I get this basically at the same time all the time. Tyler, what up, homie? How are you, dude? Hunter, thank you for the 3 months. All right, well, we're not seeing anything there, so we're not going to waste too much time. I'm sure that I could do double those. Does the Wraith have a special ability? It does. It can teleport. The Wraith teleporting is the special ability. We'll do this. I think this is a good idea. Is there even a ghost? I'm okay if there's not. Like, just hanging out inside of an old lighthouse. I'm down. That's fine. Garrett, thank you for the biddies. Appreciate you. R, thank you for the sub. I just need someone to like throw down a rope and then like lift me up, because up, down, up, down, up, down. I would feel different about this map if I got some lower rooms. Like a little pulley system. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. What's up, Morgan? Thought I saw orbs on the floor below the one you set the stuff up. Ooh. Really? Oh, when I was walking through with the little cam? Okay. I'll check. I mean, there's always a possibility that it is there and it's cold upstairs just because the ghost keeps roaming up and down. Okay. If you did, that was a damn good spot, because I had the camera on a tripod, which means that that lens was super, super small. Oh, you son of a... Don't you dare. So you guys down for some like Neopets today? Maybe we could do some like, I don't know, Legos. What are you in the mood for? Mario Party. There's tons of options. I love that for you. You shut your damn butt. You're eventually gonna roam this way, yes? Mother effer. I don't want to go away in case it doesn't. Watch it be a wraith. I swear to God. I swear to God. Oh, Warren, thank you for the follow. Killer, thank you for the sub. All right. No footies, but we found you. Where are you? Are you near? Uh-oh. There we go. Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Oh. Oh. Little sneaky snake. I'm dying. I'm so glad you have so much enjoyment. Wait, where's the light? Shit. God damn. I forget where it is. Where am I? Who are you? What is this place? It was over here. Where's the switch? There it is. Son of a bitch. All right. Well, I got spirit box here. We haven't seen dots, but we'll do that anyway. What level have I gotten to so far? I didn't even notice, actually. You know what? I'm just picking it up. IRL sanity is gone. Deuces. Oh, wait. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. We'll check for orbs. You were saying you thought you saw orbs. Let's double check. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So weird. 17 or 18? Okay. That makes sense. You never had sanity to begin with? I had a little bit. Hey. Hey. Don't you love it when you lose? I thought it was on that side, but I didn't see it, so I got really confused. All right, I'm not seeing any, so we'll say big nope for now. Oh, it's very close to freezing. Oh, that's freezing. Okay. Spirit box and freezing. Moroi, Onryo, twins, or mimic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I missed the stairs. Ah, crap. Missed the stairs. There we go. Not a Mimo? I don't think so. No, I didn't see any orbs. But if it's a Moroi, then I'm cursed. So we need to make our way downstairs for some protection. Come on, Ghost, you can do. Don't sing to him, them, it. It's her, Susan Todd. She has 2 first names. Oh, there's my flashlight. Why was that closet locked? That is the Easter egg for the map. Yeah, Conehead, what up, dude? Test for a Moroi. I mean, I could do. I mean, which test do you mean? There are a few. Learn how to do it all from the YouTube short. Well, the problem is that YouTube short has been outdated for quite some time. The candle test, yeah, you can't test that way anymore. It's outdated. What is the Easter egg? There is an Easter egg on this map that when you solve it, you get a animated ID card. Yeah. I really, really, really hope that they add more like it, because we did it live and I loved trying to figure it out. That was cool. That was neat. But it's super fast. There's tutorials online. I've made a video about how to do it. If you do it right, you can do it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes tops. It doesn't take long at all. Once you know all the steps. Ferryman of the Drown. Love it. Quite possibly my favorite ID card. Does Flash read both chats? I'm not sure. I'll let you know though. Capture a photo, firelight. I don't. Here's the issue. Like, I love the idea of getting a perfect game or something like that. I don't like the idea of just trucking up and down, up and down, up and down. I really hate that idea. Does it have to be a certain difficulty? You can do it on Friendly Ghost. Shit, we'll do it after this map if you want me to. You can do a duo. You can do it 4 players. The thing you have to make sure of is that if all 4 players that are in the lobby are trying to get it, make sure that all 4 players can see the special thing that happens at the end. So as long as you can see it, then you know that you got it. But yeah, if you want to figure it out yourself, you could always close your eyes for a couple minutes for, you know, whatever. But yeah, we can do it super fast after this. It is probably one of my favorite cards. I love it to death. It looks so awesome. Moroi, Onryo, Twins, or Mimic. We could poke and prod. For time's sake, we can poke and prod. Do I poke and prod Frank, make it hunt and listen? You keep avoiding spoilers? How long has this map been out? Go Tanks. It's a great card. I love it. Don't do it on point hope. What do you mean don't? It's the only place you can do it. What do you mean? All right. We have a smudge. I could do a firelight to at least get the objective. Onryo test? I could try. I don't know how safe this is going to be, but I could sure give it a whirl. And if it's being a butthole and it's not blowing out the candle, well, because me being able to protect myself up there with a tier 1 crucifix, I feel like it's not going to happen. I feel like this is going to go south. Yeah, Mimic? No, I don't think so. We didn't see orbs. I think hunt speed we're going to see it. No. We're going to do this. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. I'll bring a double smudge just in case. What are my top 5 ID cards? Oh, that's tough. I haven't had a good look at the couple that are above my prestige. So there's the prestige 19 and prestige 20. I could make a top 5 of my favorite cards though. Because there's other cards that I don't really get to see that much either that are ones that I don't have. That I'm probably never going to get because they're very specific. Yeah. I love that a lot of people are asking, why are you here? It's been probably one of my favorite things. Why are you at Point Hope? Listen, man. Listen. Reasons. What are you gonna do when you get max level? Great question. I mean, well, think about, okay, max level. Max level in this game is Prestige 20, level 9,999. I think there's hiding, I had those in Bruce's bedroom. We had these back over here with Frank. 19 is pretty awesome. I just don't remember what it looks like. Yeah. All right, we'll turn this light on. Right, Bruce? Bruce gets it. Flash is not to be trusted with carts. Excuse me, I didn't push anybody into a hole. Flash is not to be trusted. How dare you? Can I see? Hold on. Oh, that's right. The switch is over here. Oh yeah, I can see that. I can see that. There we go. I hear Flash likes to pee in Tom's pool. Well, if he'd stop having such a fun pool, I wouldn't pee in it. You push someone into a hole. No, Halogen. Break did it to me. There's like double sound happening with this thing, and I'm not a fan. Should I try playing Nightmare or stick to professional until I learn more of the ghost behavior's abilities? If you don't know a lot of the ghost abilities, traits that set them apart from other ghosts, I would stick to professional for a little bit or start to learn it. Okay, wait. Okay, I forgot about the Chinggis thing. Listen. One of us did it on purpose. The other did it accidentally. I will let you choose who did it on purpose. Listen. I understand I take responsibility. It was my fault, but I did not do it on purpose. He was a victim of circumstance. All right, it just blew the firelight out once. That's cute. Okay, round 2, fight. I mean, really, I could sit here. Unless it's a Moroid, then I'm going to be screwed. Sir Skitsko, welcome in. Listen, man. It was really funny, though. It was really, really, really funny. I wish I could place it over there. You know? You'll be fine. I feel like I won't be. Wow. Just farting on people, huh? So was throwing you in a hole. I could have dropped you over that pit. I could have dropped you and I didn't. Because I'm a sweetheart. Listen, my patience is very thin. I kind of just want to make it hunt. I'm just gonna make it hunt. This is annoying. Do I need this light on? No. Let's leave it on. Think about it. How many times Chinggis got flash? Wait, Chinggis got flash. When did Chinggis get flash? Flash went full scar. Listen, dude. Listen, why you gotta say it like that? Why? Why you gotta say that? Why you gotta make it sound worse? I listen. It was an accident. Oh, Frank, you look so depressed. Can you be? Where's your arm, Frank? He's so sad. That sounds pretty normal, folks. Definitely not twin. I'm gonna keep poking. If it remains the same speed, we know what we have. Yeah, Frank's had better days. Oh, shit. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna let it hunt one more time just to be sure. Sorry. Listen, please. Chill, dude. We ignored daylight. What up, Otter? Frank, I want to put you up there. Oh, yikes. Okay. Okay. Oh, man, I'm trying to get him to sit up there. Leave the bird alone. It was an accident. King Julian! Shh. He's sleeping. Poor Frank. Poor little Frank. I'm trying to give him a seat. Where else can we put Frank? Frank, can I get you to sit up and then put a pirate hat on you? Oh, hold on. I don't think it's possible. This is wait. Do that. won't stay flat. Okay, I'll just put you in the pirate hat. It's fine. There we go. Perfection. Perfection. Killed him. No, he's fine. He needs Bruce. Oh, okay. Oh, can you imagine if there was hit detection? We could make him ride the shark. Sounds pretty normal to me. That's not unreal. What's a pirate without his mystical shark? Human aid! Dude, holy shit! Did you even say hi today? Did you hear the Jaws theme? I just heard it. I did. Oh my God, I didn't see it. Hello, friend. Jesus. Hi, caramba. Freaking wowzers. That's one way of putting it. Bruce, did you see what just happened? Yeah. You think they would ever make a more dangerous difficulty where you can have 2 ghosts? I don't think so, but it would be really cool to see them experiment with stuff. I would love to see what that would be like. Yeah, human aid, dude. Sweet, funky butt loving. My God. The wheel? Oh, the wheel will happen. It's just not happening this second or anything. Oh, gosh darn it. All right, save yourself. Praise to God. No, we leave it alone. We leave it alone. How do you trigger the Star Wars music? So 5 triggers the saxophone. Why are you taking Bruce? Because he's ours. I was saving him by throwing him outside. I was saving him by throwing him outside. See, we saved Bruce. There's our homie. We didn't even see the ghost, but I'm going with it to get us out of Point Hope. It is not called kidnapping. Stop it. You knock it off right now. Knock it off. Watch it be a Moroi, I swear to God. Yeah.
Welcome back. I've got some
Out of the ghosts that we had an Onryo, we had a Moroi, and we had twins. The reason we knew that it was an Onryo, and I never actually saw the ghost, is because of the speed. We could hear it. We could hear that it was a normal speed ghost. And at that point, I had used up all the pins on Frank, on the voodoo doll. So my sanity would have been way lower. And if it was a Moroi, it would have been faster. And it was not. So, and we also had no orbs, which means no mimic. So Onryo. Onryo. Now, as for the jumpiness and the lag stuff, man, I got nothing. I got freaking nothing. I don't know what the hell's going on. It seems okay right now. I don't know if the game's got to warm up. I do not know. I don't know. You know what? Here, we're here. We'll do it. We might as well. Cassie, what up? How are you? Hello. Percy, thank you for the 15. Hello. Try a different map without fog. I think if I wanted to like really test the waters to see what it is, I think I would need to, I'd say offline testing, but I need OBS open. Oh, the Easter egg run. Oh yeah, let me do this and we'll do the Easter egg. Yeah, thank you, Song. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, let's do this and then we'll do the the Easter egg. Yeah. The whole point of the Easter egg, I want to show you, if you've never done it before, that there is an ID card you can get for doing the Easter egg on Point Hope. And it's the Ferryman of the Drowned badge. And it's awesome. Look at that badge. One of my favorite badges, and you can get this in 5 to 10 minutes. Love it, dude. It is so good. I will show you how to do it. If you want to figure it out yourself, I'll warn you to like look away or mute or something if you want to figure it out. You can do it on friendly ghost. You can do it on custom, everything. We can floor it through it with a 150% speed. I will show you. I will show you. Percy, thank you for the 5. Remember Flash? Listen. That's what the wall's for. There's signs to tell us what to do. You like the teal and the black? Well, I love this one. I also love this one. I love that one just because it's my muted vibe of just dark mode. I love this one. This is the completionist if you get all of the achievements done. Now, I don't know what's going to happen if they add more achievements to the game. What's going to happen with this? My guess would be that you would just keep the card and other people have to complete those extra achievements to get it. But, oh yeah, Pengu. Yeah, I love it. Me too, man. All right, let's put on our Ferryman of the Drowned badge, because why not? Got it the other day. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's spin the wheel, and then after we do that, we'll show you guys how to do the Ferryman Easter egg. Completionist 2. Ooh, extra completionist. Extra completionist. Did I see a Point Hope run on top floor earlier? Yes, you did. You sure flippin' did. All right. Time for a subba. Time for a subba. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I get Point Hope, it's up there, man. Have I made a video on how to get all the cards? No, because I feel like that wouldn't be very useful. There's a lot of cards you can't get unless you are a specific role. I'll take a turkey. One day, Break, I'm actually going to send you an actual sub. One day. No Subway sandwich? You mean all that exhaust bread air coming out? Listen, I love a good Subway sandwich. Who doesn't? All right. I feel dehydrated. I say that because I've been drinking so much freaking water. I need to get on it. I need to chug some water or something. All right. If you are not subbed and you want a free sub, if you guys type sub in chat, you could win a free sub. If you are subbed and you win, you have to pick somebody that is not subbed. Yeah. Got it? I just got Phaz and got my second ghost right. GG's. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. I hope you're enjoying the game, man. Don't try to floor it. Don't try to get as much XP, money, whatever, as fast as you possibly can. Just enjoy the game, dude. Just enjoy it. So many people try to push people to play above their means in the game because, well, the only way you can enjoy it is by playing the hardest damn game mode possible. No, it is not. If you like amateur, play amateur, man. If you like intermediate, professional, nightmare, play it. Who cares? There's no ranked. Yeah. But I'm scared of my own shadow. Yeah, but that's what makes it fun. I guess from a viewer perspective, as somebody that, like, I love watching streams. So when I'm watching someone play and they just get absolutely scared shitless, it's really enjoyable to watch. It's enjoyable to watch that if they are scared, but they are brave enough at least to go in and make those scared moments happen. It makes it really, really enjoyable. All right. 10 seconds and we're going to go. 10, 10, 10. 5, 4. The volume's fixed. 3, 2, 1, go. My cat would jump on me. I've had my kids, my wife, they have all scared me. What my wife will do, you guys have seen it. I'm sitting here playing. She doesn't want to go into camera, so she'll throw shit at me. All of a sudden, like, I don't feel like a nice little nudge. I feel an object strike me in the back. Oh, get your damn chicken bananas out of here. Dolly Yard! My wife is a Pulte. She might be. It was really big throws. But it's funny though, because every time I turn around and I was like, oh my God, I turn around and look back and she's just looking at Gosh darn it. All right, let me see. Perfect. Alrighty, friend, I'm on it, Dollyard. I'm on it. Pay attention to me. No, she just, it's always, she just needs my attention for a second, just for something. There you go, friend. GG's. GG's. Oh my goodness gracious. I need more water. I need to refill it. Clive, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Yeah, every day I've been trying to drink like 3 or 4 of these, basically, ish. Like 3 or 4 of these guys. Just chug a lug, man. Chug a lug. Chug, chug, chug. First goes with some air. Nice. GG's. Oh my goodness. Dollyard, you're welcome, friend. Always. Please make sure to thank chat. Hey, man, appreciate it. All right, what we're going to do, let me do a custom. We don't need the ghost to hunt at all. Could we? Sure. Do we need the ghost to hunt? No. You can do this on Friendly Ghost. If you are above level 50, you can do a custom game, Friendly Ghost on infinite sprint, 150 speed, and you can get the Point Hope Easter egg. I'm gonna have to remember some of the steps, maybe, or I guess the sequence of it, but we'll figure it out as we go. Yeah, Train, what up, man? Welcome in. Alrighty, let's go show you guys how to do it. Also, I have some lower tier equipment, but it should be okay. If I struggle with the UV light, I believe I know a way to solve it. I think so. Noob, what up, dude? Hope you're well. Everything is going great, man. Thank you. Thank you for asking. Just tired today. Just tired. But other than that, though, everything is just swell. Yeah. Outstanding hydration does create a challenge for long streams. This is very true. But I've just been trying to make sure that I'm following things, not necessarily to a T, but just trying to be very good about staying hydrated, eating healthier, working out 5 times a week. Like I have a mindset right now of I want to stick to it because I have goals. So when I make a goal, I really strive for that goal and really work my ass off to get it. So is that a 40-ounce bottle? It is. Yeah. I'm trying to, man. I'm trying to. I want to make sure that I'm able to keep up with my kids and run around with them and not be some lazy sack of bones that just sits around all the time. I know, like, my job, I'm a video editor. And then I also stream 4 times a week. So like I do a lot of sitting at the computer. So getting up, walking more, running, lifting weights, all that stuff. Like I'm doing all of that now. But yeah. Yeah. I feel called out. Listen, no, I would never judge somebody else on their lifestyle. This is me. I'm looking at me, what I want to do for me. Can I be very real? I don't want to do it just for me. I want to for my wife as well. I want her to have someone that can walk around with her and they look at it and go, hey, they swing. Getting under the nest pedal thing. I have a walking pad, but I prefer to have it in my other room, in the other part of our basement. It's unfinished, but I have the other part of my room where it's facing my TV so I can watch old movies and stuff. I do have a standing desk. Yeah, I cannot play games and stand. I can't. I do sometimes stand while I'm working though. Editing videos, I'll stand. This is a standing desk. Yeah. It's definitely good to take care of yourselves, friends. Always, 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 always. Try to lose some weight as well. Down 30. Lost. Oh, damn. Lord, let's go. Hell yeah, man. That is awesome. Congrats. That's not easy to do. It's really not. You play lying down. Okay, no need to brag. Take care of CNC. Well, like, I used to work in trade. So when I worked in trade jobs, I was running around nonstop. sweating my ass off all the time, I had no issues because I was always moving. But when you transition into a job where you're not always doing that, it's a big shift. And at some point, my metabolism is going to be like, I'm just not having it anymore. Yeah. Trying to do the opposite. Oh, dude, I imagine, man. I imagine. Frog, thank you for the 15. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to do the Point Hope Easter egg real fast to show everybody how to do it. We're doing this on a custom game. The ghost cannot hunt. This is friendly. It does not have to be any particular game mode. If you want to challenge yourself, play it on professional or something. If you just want to get the ID card, do ghost no hunt, because there's no reason in sacrificing your run for the ghost killing you in the middle of this. But I have 150 speed and unlimited sprint. So we're going to take a flashlight. We're going to take a UV, and we are going up a stairs. Up a stairs we go. Bing. So you need to make your way upstairs. Breakers on. Good. To the game room. And then once you're in the game room, this is where the first step is. So if you look at this wall, we can see we have a green, blue, and red shell. That is supposed to be red. So that correlates with these pool balls. So green first, then blue, then red. Okay. Whoop, lost my mouse. So if you look at the pool table, you obviously don't have all solid colors. So you have to be careful, but like there's your green, there's your blue, and then this is the part that messes a lot of people up. You have one ball that looks orangish and then a maroon. So get your green, go ahead and make it. Get your blue. We'll go over there. Corner pocket. Now look, when you take the pool ball away from the light, you see how it's orange here? Look at the color when you go over here. Away from the light, it's red. There's your red. So drop that in. And then if we look inside of here, a little sneaky, there's a key right there at the other side. Usually where the cue ball or the ball show up. So you get this key, you go upstairs. We'll leave the lights on, it's fine. So there is a door up here that is locked. And the only way to unlock it is with that key. So you come up here. Okay. Wait, I lost myself for a second. Hold on. Come up here. I was like, wait, I turned around too fast. So you get your light on. This door right here. This door here. Now we have the ability to open. Devil, thank you for the raid. What up, man? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lavender, thank you for the follow. How's it going, brother? Mrs. Brightside, hello. Hi, Mel. How's Hawaii? Devil, what were you doing today, man? We're just going over the Easter egg real fast. What were you doing? Avowed. Oh, what's Avowed? I'm out of touch with games. I'm out of touch. Oh my goodness. All right. So once you get this door open, then there is a gear that is down here that looks different than any other gear. And it's this yellow one here. You grab that yellow gear, you bring it over here. When you go to place, you have this little highlight to show you that you did it right. Now, when you look up top, it's flashing in a 3 sequence. So then you make your way downtown, walking fast all the way to the bell at the front of the building. So the reason we're so fast is because we're doing a custom 150 speed sprint, unlimited Tash. Hello. Go all the way over here to the front. Okay. And you can see up here, you can see the light flashing 3 times. Yeah. Did they start the Easter? Oh, no. The Easter egg for Point Hope. They have not started the Easter like event. No, that has not started. So if we do we hear a fire get lit. But what does it say? Let us go find out. Mel, that was so fun playing Repo yesterday. I had such a blast. So good. Game has events. The game has had events for years. Yeah. We need to go all the way back up to show you guys what it did at least. So we keep going around town. Going around town, you go outside, you look over there, and you can actually see on the beach that it is spelling something with the rocks. When I play the map, I move my crucifixes. Wait, what? So it says UV. So at that point, you're trying to figure out what are you supposed to do with UV? So we'll see if this works. I'm a little curious myself. I say we'll see if this works. Also, not doing it at sunrise would probably be the best. Wait. Wait. Wait, do I have the monkey paw? Do I? Where are you? Oh, I do. All right, what weather do you guys want? Nighttime? Clear? Rain? You cannot wish for blood moon. That would be super cool, but you cannot. I don't think snow would be the best. Clear night? I think clear night is the best in my opinion. Fog makes it actually harder to see. Yeah. Yeah, so if you're wishing for that, would it be wishing for... Do you just wish for clear? I wish for clear weather. Confirmed. So then you take a UV stick. You go over to this guy. You get real close. Now look, it is doing what I was having problems with before. Oh, there we go. It worked. Okay. The way that I solved that before was I literally turned the power off. I turned the power off. This thing stopped spinning. When it stopped spinning, I was able to get it. But it worked for me. So that's good. Oh. But there you go. And that's it. At that point, you now have the ID card. When you leave, you will get the ID card. Yeah. This was super cool figuring this out for the first time. But yeah, if you have a UV stick, you can go over here and you can find people yourself. Some guy had his butt there. Oh, nice toesies. Oh my. But yeah, listen. The water. Super cool. I see ghost butts. Look at those cakes. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. But there you go. That's it. That's it. Wait, where am I going? Who are you? What is this place? Where am I? You don't think you realize? Oh yeah, they're like a bunch of BJMs. Yeah. Ducks! Full moons! Hi, friend. But yeah, it's super, super freaking cool. I love the addition of it. I'm so hopeful that they have done more things. Like, if they did something similar at Bleasdale, that'd be super neat, but I don't know if they have. We're still trying to... we know that there's lore at Bleasdale, but we don't know if there's any secrets to be discovered. It's so many moons today. Oh, this is one of the other cool parts, too. Look up. Look at this guy. Super cool. What level do you have to be to get this map? Well, is Point Hope locked behind a level? It's so hard to know anymore. Yeah, super awesome Easter egg. Do the one small Easter egg in Sunny Meadows? I could do that real quick. Yeah, might as well. It's locked, but below 20. 14. Hold on, there's mixed opinions. All maps are available to start. They're not, Copper. They're not. If you are below, if you are not Prestige 1 yet, there are some levels that are actually, there's some maps that are actually locked until you get to a certain level. Yeah, there's mixed opinion. We'll have to, we'll get the final answer. Yeah. All right. Stupid Myling. Easter egg video? Yeah, I have one. Yeah, I could get you a link. Oh, you would
Welcome
be a
back.
shade.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
You would be. All right, so now what we'll do really quickly before we go to the next nightmare game is I'll show you the one on Sunny Meadows. Can you pick a map for me? Camp Woodwind.
We've arrived. Check the equipment.
We've arrived.
Investigating.
We've arrived. Wiki says 15. Thank you. I would trust that. I would definitely trust that. All right, so if you go downstairs in Sunny Meadows, I believe it's the left one. Could be mistaken. Oh, no, it's definitely in there. So, Sunny Meadows was really one of the first times that we had the opportunity to see some good lore being added to the game. And there's a lot of lore within this map by itself. We did see it before this inside of Asylum, where they added some lore. They added actual like UV stuff for us to see, which was super cool. I thought you meant the cross Easter egg. Oh, no. They wanted to see the UV thing. So we were hinted at this map from Old Asylum that something was coming. They even had the name and everything. And I think we even tried to ask them about it. And they were like, no. That's not the final name. Yes, it was. Lying bastards. But this room is way different than the other one. So if you go to the other padded room that's on the other side. Oh. You go to this one. You notice the difference? Very, very clean. Very ew. Thank you. Hi, Roxy. This one is not. There's a reason for it. Because when you walk into this room and you hold a UV, when you walk into this room and you hold a UV stick, you can see all of these tally marks on the wall across the entire thing, which we can only assume is counting the days of being in this. We can only assume. Yeah. Zoid, welcome in. Should I post the writing from Asylum again? Yeah, you can if you want to, Song. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't like go back and look at it, which is stinky, but that's okay. How many times it has been added up. I don't know exactly. Yeah. Lived a life. Well, Pam. Okay. Well, Pam is dealing with that right now, and we can show you why Pam is dealing with that now. I hear Ghosty. I don't know where it is, though. Hey, Pixel, I'm good. There's a hole in the roof. The ghost is close. But yeah, there's pancakes. Hi, Pam. Tally marks total 7,560. Yeah, she's had better days. But she has a really cool perk in that she has a Kool-Aid fountain, which is awesome. Just endless fruit punch for days. So, you know, you give and you get. Yummy. Oh, you didn't know that turned on? Oh, it certainly does. All right, we'll make our way back up and guess the ghost. We'll see. The mortuary assistant. Imagine, imagine the mortuary assistant inside of Phas. Mr. Deeds, yes. That's Hawaiian Punch. 20, yeah, that's craziness. Absolute craziness. It's a Dio. Could be. Carrie, think of the 18 months, dude. That looks like a $5 again. We'll go for a $5. I don't think it's going to be a... No, you know what? Goryo. Oni. Could be. Oh, Sperate.
There's some jobs ready.
The writing in Asylum was, I have to leave somewhere new. I don't belong here. I'll go soon. To get better, I hope. I found a new home. Sunny Meadows. Sounds nice. A place to heal. Yeah. Yeah. Besides Point Hope, are there any other Easter eggs that give badges? No. No, that's the only one. That is it. Dude, I'm like my mouse. Do you see this? I think it's a Phas thing. I really do, because my CPU, memory, everything is Gucci. So something's up. Something's up. You like the Ranger badge? Yeah, I like all those badges are cool. I like the level badges. And the nice thing about those is you just have to complete the levels so many times. So that's nice. Yeah, that's super cool. The Lighthouse Keeper, Ranger. Nope, not that one. This one would be cooler if they did dark mode on the letters. Maybe one day they'll fix it. Who knows? Maybe. But we will see. All right. Where were we? Close out the game and open it back up. Yeah, I could. That might not be a bad idea, actually, to do a fresh load of the game. Yeah, you know what? Let's do that, actually. I like that idea.
Welcome back. I've got some
I like that idea. All right. I'm not going anywhere. We're just reloading Phas just to see what happens. See if it helps at all. May not be an Easter egg, but I'm deeply suspicious of that flower on the box in the Blee's attic hiding spot. It seems too specifically placed. You know what I'm curious about, Ducks? I'm very curious. Time for ads? No, I have 20 minutes. No, we're good. I'm very curious about the pages that are on the floor in the office at the end of the hall. I'm very, very curious to see what those actually say. I have not had a chance. If anybody has VR, I could almost guarantee that you could put your face close to those papers and figure out what they say by recording it, getting screen grabs, whatever. Notice those? Yeah, it's just really hard to read. And I think the only way to do it is going to be in VR. I saw the phrase whispers on the walls. Yeah, I saw that. I was able to see that at the top of the paper. For sure. Yeah. What's up, Matt? Jim, thank you for the 3 months, dude. They say Phasmo's coming out on Switch too. I hate you so much. Like a lot. IVR, I can do that. Oh, Zero, I would love it, friend. I was having issues updating my meta stuff. I hate it. I wish I could just play. Yeah, and welcome in. Played a couple rounds of Phas today. Got two mimics back to back. Happy birthday. Hey, that is a good birthday, brother. What's wrong with that? Tinfoil Hat Me seriously wonders if the address being across from a 150-year-old church IRL is a clue. I would guess no. The reason I say that is usually if they're adding something to the game that is Easter eggy or whatever, it's typically not something that you have to super investigate to figure out. Not usually. Yeah. I would guess not. Lord Bunko, welcome in, dude. Welcome in. Okay, where were we? Sully, welcome in, dude. All right, back to Nightmare. Yesterday I was having trouble with Phas on my PC, but not on my Xbox. Interesting. Yeah, we've been seeing random lags here or there. I could always try to dive into... NVIDIA and try to limit frames with this app, with the new app. I'm not sure I know how to do it. I can probably figure it out. Just a guy, what up? Bleasdale has lore. Yes, we just haven't figured it out yet. Bleasdale absolutely has lore. 1,000,000%. All right, maybe I do. Graphics, Phasmo, performance quality. Let's see. Where are the frames? How's my day? My day is good, man. Day's going well. Just tired from the week. Did a lot of lifestyle changes over the past week, so it's definitely like a shock to the system kind of thing. Feel that. Yeah, it's been a thing, man. It's definitely been a thing. All right, smooth motion, vertical sync. No. How do I within this? This week's been weird, yeah. What are we listening to? It's a bunch of Monster Cat music because I have the license to it. Star, thank you for the 18 months. Welcome back. Motion, latency, max frame rate. Global off. Oh, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. How's the wife doing? She's doing well. She's doing really well. On. Let's do one. We'll do a $144. Lassed, thank you for the gifted to the blurp pool, friend. All right, we're going to limit it to 144 since that's my refresh rate on my monitor. We'll see what that does. We'll see what that does. Freddie, thank you for the sub, dude. All right, I wonder if that automatically just takes place. If I have to press anything or if it works. Hey, Gall, what up, man? College won't be able to chat much. No, you're good. I hope the classes go well, man. Mr. Pav! All right, let's try that. I hope that works. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'm going to ask them inside of the Discord what's happening. I can't tell if it's a me problem or a them problem. That's the issue I have. Trial and error. Yeah, basically. Restart the game. Oh yeah. For it to take effect. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that. Super. What up, dude? Thank you so much for the sub, man. Hey, Crown. I'm good. How are you? All right. Let's get Faz open. Them problem. We've gotten so many bug reports. Okay. I've heard them too, Zero. It's so hard to tell sometimes. I'm so fearful it's me. I'm so fearful it's me. George Foreman. Holy hell. How old was he? Oh my God. Alec, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Thank you for teaching me so much about Faz. Absolutely, dude. Appreciate you.
Welcome back.
All right.
I've got some jobs ready for you.
We'll see what happens if I get stutters. If it like right now it feels smooth and sharp and to the point. 76. Someone said he passed away. Yeah. Dude, when my wife and I had our first apartment, we had a George Foreman grill. We had one of those guys. By no means did we want to bring it to our next home, but we had one. Ended up rewriting the back end of our software that make it even lightweight. Oh, let's go. Zero. I can't wait to dabble in it. I want to. All right, we'll see what happens, friends. We're just going to go into a map and see how it goes. His family released a statement. Oh, that's sad. We all had one. It was just, I don't know. Everybody was like, oh, it makes cooking so easy. Because I don't want to cook. Ghost, thank you for the subs. Oh, man. The nice thing, like, the benefit right now, especially, of starting to try to eat healthier. I don't want to say go on a diet necessarily, just eat better. Because I have eaten like shit for like my whole life. I just eat terrible food. Terrible as in like really bad for you. So, Michael Scott, I burned my foot on a George Foreman grill. Hey Lil, how are you? Do you ever play with viewers? I do. We actually reached our goal for the month this month. So we're going to have a viewer day next month. I have to pick a day, but we will figure it out. So yeah, absolutely. How do you gain this self-discipline to be healthy? It's something I've struggled with my whole life. Kids, as somebody that is not a health professional, as somebody that is not, I don't know, I feel like I don't necessarily have the place to put advice to somebody else necessarily, but I can give my input as to what I guess what works for me, or working for me, or the way I'm able to force myself to do it. I think I've come to a realization that definitely not getting any younger. And I realized that I want to be able to, like I was saying earlier, I want to be able to run around with my kids until they're old. I want to be able to pop up in the morning and run about without feeling tired. And that's the thing, is that like, as somebody that gets chronic migraines and headaches, like, and that's another factor for me, is like, maybe if I'm taking better care of myself, they'll stop. If they don't, well, then I'll get healthier in the process. And then it's kind of a double whammy, because I'm going to a neurologist. So hopefully they'll fix it or help me fix it. But I think realizing that trying to be healthier for me has been enjoyable, because A, it is making me more active. B, I'm trying things I would never try and have actually been really enjoyable, rather than going and grabbing like I legit pulled out a bag of Cheetos the other day, like at night. I'm a snacker at night, man. I am a freaking late night snacker. When I get off stream and it's like midnight, I'm hungry. I want to eat. But it's really bad to do. It's really bad to eat late at night right before you go to bed. Because your body hasn't had time to metabolize the food. And I've stopped doing that. I've stopped. And I think part of the reason too I've been so hungry randomly is because I'm not eating enough protein. I'm not getting enough protein in my system. Protein, fiber, there's a lot of I've been doing a lot of research, investigative work into figuring out what kind of micros I should be looking at. I mean, what kind of macros I should be looking at, calorie intake. If I'm trying to eat on a deficit, how much should I be eating? Like, I'm not being so crazy about it that I don't eat random things here or there, but I'm self-aware to know, instead of going to McDonald's to get food and get this, I could very easily pack this and still get just as full, enjoy what I'm eating, and it'd be way healthier for me. But if you're struggling, I would highly, highly recommend talking to a healthcare professional about it. Absolutely talk to a healthcare professional. They will lead you down the correct path to doing what you should do, which is best for your body. Because not everyone is built the same. Everybody's different, man. Protein is the biggest player in making you feel full. I have been aiming to get close to 200 milligrams every day. I have been aiming for it. It's tough because you want to try and fit it in there, but I've been aiming for it. Yeah. There are people I watch on streams, and I don't want to dog anybody about it, but I watch some streams and they talk to people like they are a healthcare professional, and it bothers me because they're not. And they're giving advice about what somebody should do. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're giving people advice about what they should do with their body, with their mental health, with all these different things. And it's really dangerous if you don't know somebody's background to give people advice like that. So if you're struggling with things, always go to a professional. It is okay to go to those around you for support. Support systems are amazing. However, a professional will be able to help you do what is best to move forward. Those around you will help push you to go to the professional. It changes based on your body type. Amen. 1,000,000% yes. Nobody's the same. Caffeine's my biggest enemy. I average about 70 milligrams. Yeah, 700 milligrams a day. I understand. I'm a caffeine taker, man. I get it. I stopped drinking larger coffee. I started drinking smaller coffee. Yeah. A consistent diet is very important. Again, I don't want to get into the weeds with this because I don't want anybody to think I'm giving some advice that everybody should adhere to. Please do not think that way. I'm just giving my take on what I have been experiencing, what has been happening with me. Like I said, the past week, I fucking 180'd. I 180'd and I'm like, that's it, man. I want to be healthier. I'm so tired. Like, I don't know. I want to run 20 feet without being like, the advice to anyone is to see them first. Yes. Always see the healthcare professional first. Yes. Wait, you mean all those fitness bros on YouTube ads are lying to me? They want you to be healthy too. Okay. Even if they're trying to sell you shit and they're trying to make you buy all their crap, they still want you to be healthier. Is that like, but see, is this good for you? No, probably it's not the greatest thing for you, but is it still enjoyable to drink? Yeah. I just don't drink a lot of them. That's the thing. Like, I drink this a couple times a week, maybe. That's it. Yeah. Moderation, man. Moderation. This has been our health talk. I'm sorry we got into that, but yeah, it felt good to talk about it. I'm a healthcare worker and I hardly get to eat on shifts, but overnight oats are my savior sometimes. There you go. Yeah. Moderation is always key. Better than Red Bull? Yeah. Yeah. I've never been a fan of Red Bull. I don't know. Like the taste. It just tastes like college. Only drink 2 to 3 a week. There you go. Same. Moderation's everything. Yeah. I think it was neat. Yeah. I mean, I guess it was neat. I don't know. I don't know what the one particular thing was that sparked me into being like, I really want to get into shape. But I want to. Do you ever do viewer games on weekends? I could do viewer games on weekends. Yeah. I need to quit vaping. Any advice? I would find people that did quit vaping. Ask them what they did. But again, same thing. Talk to a doctor because they will be able to help you understand the harm of vaping and then understand maybe a better way for you to get away from it. But I think one of the best things you can do is to find people that did quit and ask them, like, what did you do? Some people are going to probably tell you how hard of a road it is. And some people are going to tell you, oh, I just stopped. And that's not helpful for you. If you struggle with it, someone just telling you, oh, I dropped it. I don't do it anymore. What good is that to you? It's not. Healthcare professional. Always. Anyway. All right. How we doing? Best advice I was given by a healthcare professional tailored to me was eat what you want, but add what you need. Like if you want pancakes, make pancakes, but add Greek yogurt, berries, stuff like that to help you feel full and healthier. You still get what you want, but add what you need. That's great advice. That's wonderful advice. And that's something I've actually been doing. I really want to eat this, but if I do it on a high protein tortilla instead, that's way better for me. Yeah. It's so tough. Yeah. The quality of doctors in the US at least is all over the place. Yeah. Love watching the vids. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. You guys are great. I appreciate you all just chilling and talking about this stuff, man. I appreciate you. I wish the best for everyone here. I hope the freaking best for all of you. Never be afraid to talk about your successes. Never be afraid to talk about your journey. Always be careful, though, about how you talk about it, because turning something into a mental health discussion, again, to me is a very, very touchy subject and very dangerous. So you just need to be very careful. Very, very careful. So the best thing you can do is listen and wish someone the best, man. Wish them the best. Let them know that you're there for them. Why is Flash our health guide now? He's not. Don't you do that to me. No, no, no. MDs tend to prescribe meds more. DOs will try to find more of a homeopathic way. Think about what you want. Yeah. M3, have a good one, man. Have a good one, dude. Moving out of a toxic household. Though I'm hoping it'll help my mental state. I hope so, man. Best of luck. Best of luck. Recommended I get the 2 cheeseburger meal from McDonald's and drop the bottom bun. Just to eat fewer carbs, fewer calories. Yeah. Yeah. You know what I got the other day? My wife was shocked. She was shocked. I went to Chick-fil-A, which I've had more recently in a manner of speaking. Robot VIP GGs. We will go into a map. I do promise. Here, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go to Ridgeview. I was like, you know what, man? I want to try something different, but I want to eat a super enjoyable food. So what I found out somebody did, they went to Chick-fil-A and they got like the new smokehouse barbecue bacon sandwich, and then they just lettuce wrapped it. They replaced the bun with lettuce. It was so good. It was so freaking good. Delicious. And I would have never thought that's what I should be trying to eat. I enjoyed it so much. It was so good. Love all the content. I appreciate it, man. Oh, it's so good. Oh my God. My son loves barbecue. I was like, we're going to Chick-fil-A this weekend at some point. Love lettuce wraps. I want to start eating more of them. It's just there's so many foods I didn't realize I liked. But God, man, I'm trapped in a frozen box of food just because it's easy. But easy is not the way. Start suffering cluster migraines. He has constant throbbing in his head, but the slightest excursion and a horrible migraine starts. April, boy, do I understand what that's like. Boy, do I understand. I get them very frequently, and I've been trying to go to a neurologist to try and figure out what's wrong. Yeah. A whole world of cuisine is out there. I know. If too many calories is the issue, portion control, actual food choices for them. Yeah, eating whole foods is extremely important. Yeah, I've been like if I want a snack, instead of going and grabbing a bag of chips, I go grab an apple and peanut butter. Like it's just getting into my head that these things are really good and it's also really good for you. So like I'm getting into my own head about that stuff and it's really helping. It's really helping. What's happening? We're just having way too much of a talk. Why tier 1 items? Force. Because I have to. I have such an issue with picky eating and it's embarrassing as an adult. That's not embarrassing. You're particular. It is okay. It's okay. You just have to find the things that work for you, especially if you're picky. I'm not much of a picky eater. There's only a few things that I really dislike. I wasn't a huge yogurt fan, but you know what I did? I started putting granola into the yogurt. And it's more enjoyable for me now. And it's really great protein. Low calorie. Yeah. In December, down 32 pounds and tobacco free. Fuck yeah, man. Congrats. That is awesome. That is so freaking good. So freaking good. What level do I need to be to make a custom difficulty? I think people tagged you already, but it's level 50. Level 50. All right, are we ready? I think we're ready to rock now. Listen, if you guys, if you did share in chat, I appreciate it so much, guys. I'm so thankful for you. Again, we don't go into rants super often, but when we do, I am extremely grateful that you guys are so willing to share. Never, ever, 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 ever feel like you need to say a damn thing. Never feel that way. But if you do, I appreciate you so much. Never feel like you have to do that stuff. I'm thankful for you. You stop it. A damn thing. Pavlov, you're my favorite mod. Pickles? Who the hell said pickles? Wait, what? Did somebody... Wait, it was on YouTube. Did somebody else say pickles? What? Did I miss part of a conversation? What? All right, let's do Nightmare at Ridgeview. Get a juicer, make getting the vegetables so much easier. Yeah. See, I like vegetables though. I don't know. There's certain ones I don't like. Like I don't like celery.
There have been new reports of a certain object nearby. This must be the reason Dr. Gersh was summoned here. Take a look. You may
First thing I hear is pickles. Pickles! I know. I'm so sorry. That was so freaking weird. Chaotic, thank you for the follow. That's a very appropriate name for the moment. Frog, thank you for the gifted hugs. Oh, I appreciate you. All right, we'll see how the game plays. I tried to limit my FPS, so I'm really hoping that that helps. Outside of the game, I literally limited my FPS inside of NVIDIA. So I'm hopeful. Julie Brown. Motion sensor, we need to repel and witness a ghost event. Roger the Dodger. A very hard time eating veggies besides broccoli and carrots. Is it just because you just don't enjoy them? I assume that's probably the number one thing. Just really don't like them, the taste. You're taking a poo? No, it's not taking a poo. It's just... Oh, ads are playing. Oh, no. We wait for ads. We wait for ads. Ads are playing. Son of a bitch. All right. Well, this gives us a chance. So we'll just stare at the front door. We'll stare at the front door. My biggest thing with vegetables is texture. That's fair. I'm picky with textures of foods. Another thing you could do would be preparation, right? I was going to say the preparation of said vegetable might be what it is. So instead of eating broccoli cold or something like that, you could try roasting it. There's different ways of doing things that can make it more enjoyable. Brussels sprouts taste like unadulterated ass. But if you roast them, they're actually kind of doable. They still stink, but they're kind of okay. Shark meddling. Thank you for the 5 months. My partner has a thing where on certain textures, unfortunately, oh my goodness. No person who can keep eating after they have an episode, so I'm the only one who can clean it. Oh my gosh. You're so bad. No, you just got to figure out how to hide, man. You just got to figure out how to hide. You love Brussels sprouts? I'm not a big fan. My mom used to keep them in the freezer when I was little. So like our fridge smelled like straight ass. It was awful. But she never ate them. She just left them in the freezer. We're like, oh, it stinks. She's like, shut up. No, she didn't. Yeah, it smelled so bad. Tried Brussels sprouts with bacon grease, and it's gross. I can't eat mashed potatoes or double baked potatoes either because of the texture. Oh, you don't like mashed potatoes? Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh, I love them. Oh, they're so good. Oh, I love mashed potatoes. Oh my God. Can you say EA Sports? E. Soundbite, think of it the 6 months. You know those veggie straw chips? I do. Yeah. I used to work at a place that had them in a vending machine. That was the first time I ever saw them. I can't do cooked veggies because of textures, specifically broccoli or carrots. Oh, so you only like them when they're not cooked. That's like my daughter with broccoli. She likes it. She's weird. She likes it. I don't know. I guess cooked or uncooked, she needs ranch. She needs ranch. She's like, I can't eat these things plain. Roasted broccoli is totally different animal than normal cooked broccoli. You know, there was, we tried HelloFresh at one point. We tried it, and the way that they cooked carrots changed the way that we ate carrots. I'll eat broccoli cooked if they're not overcooked. Yeah, fair. That's fair. All right, ad break is finishing. Sorry, the second I went to go into the house, freaking ad started. I'm so sorry. I waited outside. I waited. Do you like them steamed? Oh, I love steamed vegetables. Some steamed asparagus? Oh, I could eat that every day of my life. Every day of my life. They're so good. You've never had them? They're not good. Hop and ask, what's the ghost that always knows where you are? Dio. The Diogen. This guy. This one right here always knows where you are. You hate cooked carrots? I love them. There's, my wife will make a roast. A recipe she got from her grandma. She'll make a roast with, cream of mushroom soup and like a whole, oh man, with the carrots that have been soaking in the juices. Delicioso. So good. Oh, hot. Oh, hot. Oh, it threw the remote, but it didn't click it. So just because the ghost threw the remote, oh, hi, Bone, doesn't mean we can check it for UV. The ghost has to actually try to turn on the TV. So like if I went and turned on the power right now, I could check the remote for UV. Yeah. Have you tried barbecue grilled pineapple? No. Is that a 5? Do I hear 5 through the floor? I sure does. Finally made it. What up, Bags? How are you, man? We've been having like some deep talks today. Now we're just, of course, we're just talking about food at this point. My dad makes amazing green beans. Flash cooked, sauteed with homemade bacon bits. Oh, those are the ones I like. Who makes those? Somebody makes those green beans with bacon bits and all the. Oh, that's the good shit. It's good. I'll have to try it. All right, put the camera there. Get this guy, that guy, this guy. Oh, don't want to forget this because you know I will. Age. Oh, excuse you. Grilled pineapple's great. Grilled banana's very good too. Interesting. Okay. Right in the fridge? No. No, I'm gonna pass out after stream. All right, you're over there, Mr. HR chucking stuff. What's her name? Julie Brown. Julie! I see my breath, Julie. I always eat Whole Foods. Well, I mean, I eat all the food. Sushi's where it's at. I need to dabble more in sushi. I think for me, for a while, it was like a texture thing, but I've had ones I've really enjoyed. So I told my wife I really want to go to a sushi place and just try a bunch. Another reason like food came up for me is because I like watching Good Mythical Morning, and my kids, I let them, they love it. When I'm not like when they have technology time, whatever they're doing, put something on the TV, they'll put on Good Mythical Morning, and they love just watching them try all the different stuff. And it's so fun to watch them try it. It makes us want to try it. Sushi every Saturday. Hey, there you go. We do pizza every Friday, which is way not healthier. It's way less healthy. Sashimi is my thing. I'm not really big on rice. Oh, I love rice. I love rice. I'm trying to eat more brown rice because it's healthier. Love it. Dude, it's so good. Good Mythical Morning. They are so funny. What is the best way to set up tier 3 dots? Depends on the room. It depends on the room. Was that thrown? Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot. Is Blondie here? Need to do some of Vin's recipes. I need to. That's a really great idea, actually, to talk to Vin. I should do that too. That's a great idea. Your guilty pleasures pasta? I love it. I love Italian food. Love. Makes fresh green beans with garlic. Oh. Been watching Good Mythical Morning for years. We've really only started like getting heavy into watching them for the past like year, I'd say. Yes, sir. Hold on. It's still in the box. It's still in the box. Do you need to? Yeah, if you could. If you could, that'd be great. Mr. Pav! Thank you for the subs, dude. All right, I have not seen Dots or Book unless you guys have. Look. Look. Look it. Look at it. It's the alternate Rocco. Look at it. Those were tier 3s. Excuse the shit out of you, Mr. Pav. Sir. Evolution, thank you for the follow. Hi. This was a gift. Isn't it beautiful? Look at it. So I have I have the regular one, but I didn't have this one where he's sick. Do you guys remember that episode? Do you remember that? Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I appreciate you so much, friend. I love it. It will go back on the shelf. It will go back on the shelf. Oh. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, if you guys, I don't know if you're new here or whatever, but as you can see from here, it's not in focus right now. These are all 90s Nickelodeon Funkos. Yeah. All of them. Where's Rocco? Where you at? Where you at? Oh, he's over there. He's on the back shelf. He's back over here. You can't really see him that well, but he's back there with Heifer. Yeah. Oh, my Lanta. All right. Mr. Pav. Holy hell, dude. 47 months. It's a very big talking day, which has been nice for me because just tired. Just tired. So this has been really nice. You like Indian food? I do. Sometimes. Yeah. How do you identify a revenant? Well, it depends. If you're trying to identify a revenant without evidence, you need it to hunt. When the revenant hunts, it's extremely slow. Unless it sees you, senses you, then it is a mean, absolute, disgustingly rude piece of shit that knocks over cameras. Miss the air dribbling chatting streams? Oh my god. What map are you in? This is Ridge. Ridgeview. Listen, butthole. I understand that we've been, like, away from you. Freaking knee D. Yeah, it knocked over my camera. This gear's expensive, jerk. Don't yell at the ghost. I'll yell at the ghost all I want. Cow chips, thank you for the 2 months, man. Are you over here walking around? I don't want to lay the salt over there. Wait. No, you have not rot. There's no rotting. All right. Where, oh, where is... Hi, Pam. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? She followed us from Sunny Meadows. So, unless she has not moved from her spot. Hold on. Let's try to do something. We're going to try and see if we can capture her teleporting. Yeah. Michael, what up, man? Very late? That's okay, man. You're never late. You're on time for you. On time for you. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this guy, that guy, and this guy. Wraith, I'm thinking it is right now just because I sat Salt on both sides of the table and she did not step in them. So, in there. What are the odds that she's going to hit this, this, this? Oh no, don't want to do that. I need a visual representation. Probably this. That'd be good. All right. I think it's a Wraith. Head out. I have work in the morning. Good night. Night, Demon. Hope you have a good day, work friend. Got done playing with my gal pal a bit ago. Nice. Did some customs. Sweet. Did you win? All right. So Ghosty's walking through the motion sensor, which is not going to make this any easier, but it's okay. Grab firelight. Firelight. Make me so... I know, man. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Especially if anybody's like getting ready to go to bed and they're... all we're talking about is food. I do apologize. All right, I have a smudge. We have tarot cards, which is nice, I guess. Not really. Feels wraithy. I think so too. It still doesn't walk. Jay, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh, we got a Camerato, Mr. Roboto. And what is our other evidence for a wraith? We have EMF, spirit box, or dots. Well, what the French, Toast? If it is dots... what the hell? We'll put one here. And then we'll put one here. So, I have a smudge on me. Yes, I do. Okay. What I want to see is if Ghosty will teleport. Actually... let's do the full-blown test. So when wraiths teleport, they leave an EMF 2 at where they teleported to. So if our ghosty teleports to me, this EMF is going to go off, and then we're going to see these motion sensors go off in sequence from me to there instead of there to me. So we'll see. Is it possible that I do have Spirit Box and I just wasn't getting it? Yes. It's been so long since. It walked into the kitchen, but it didn't walk completely to me. Check the salt again. Yeah, could be worth. We're gonna leave this here. Not walked in. You know what? Let's go get more just to be extra sure. Raging, what up? Let's go get more. We're gonna salt the ever-living crap out of that area. Give. And we'll bring one of you. Can it glitch out so the ghost moves differently and you get it wrong due to that? I mean, anything is, I guess, technically possible. That. So, riddle me this, Batman. This ghost spawned here. Are you telling me you are the biggest butthole? I really don't like it here. Just not a fan. Not a fan. Have I checked my... No, not recently. Getting freaking trolled. Yeah, go ahead. Walk through the rest of it, you jerk. Here. Want some fire? You're confused. So, I don't know. Oh, my only guess is that she walked over the table to get out of this room. She evented here, and when the ghost events, it doesn't teleport back to its room or where it's going. It physically walks. So she did not go that way, and she did not go that way. That means she walked over this, and then she farted on me. And she evented on, yeah, so probably not a shade. She blew out that firelight. Probably not. So we're leaning more towards a spirit or a myling. Hi, caramba. Such a troll. What is my cursed possession? I wonder. Oh, it's the cards. Fuck it, I'm using them. Give. Hi, caramba. Tower. We got sanity back, 25 of it. But we got a high priestess card. On the stairs? I wonder if... Let's go over here. Is that far enough away to do a myling test? Let's try here. I think it's a spirit. Are you a spirate? Oh, I might die. I have an extra smudge. We're fine. Oh, and that's right. I'm a high priestess too. Sounds quiet. I don't think it sounds quiet enough. I don't think so. No. I think that she's a spirit. It's not quiet. I could hear the footsteps and my flashlight wasn't even blinking yet. That's why we say we don't think it's quiet. All right, we got this guy. What did I do with my flashlight? What did I do with it? I don't know what I did with it. Whatever. I think I've got those two, so we can get this one. Did I throw it on the in the garage? Oh, yeah. Duh. So I should have 3 minutes. Look, still hasn't been over here. What an a-hole. What an a-hole. Dad brain. That guy, give me you. All right, let's go on a search. It's always spirit and a frickin' spirit. Bear, you don't have the bone, do you? That'd be really mean. Hey, what up, Rye? Really, I should be using the flashlight for this, but F it, Jeff it. F it, Jeff it. We'll do a quick search this way. Piano. By the piano. Oh, I saw the bone earlier, didn't I? Dad brain. Who's over here? Right there. Remember when I said I was tired? Confirmed. Oh, okay, I can take a picture of the cards. Someday it'd be like that. Yeah. Did you just blow that out? Damn right you did. Do I need a photo of you? Nope. 2 more photos? It can hunt very soon, I think. You can hunt soon. I'm gonna try there. Let's try there. Might be able to get a cruci bite out of it. Maybe. I should be really close to hunt. Really, really close to hunting time. You a venti bitch. Here. Yes, eat it. Eat it. You just walked over there. Eat it. We know you're here. You're in here now. Eat it in 3, 2, 1. One. I don't think she liked that very much. You know what? I don't even want a ghost photo. F you, lady. Poo-poo head. Hello. F those dishes. F those dishes. Yeah, I got a picture of the cards. Yeah. We could do the... We could try to blow that out. Frickin' goo, dude. Would you do the thing? Holy shit. No paid actor today? No, I guess not. I'm gonna light the forever candle. Maybe she'll put that out. Stairs again? Yeah. Dang it, Pam. CV, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Red Devil, what up? Can you take pictures of the stuff that she throws? Yeah, the things that she throws outside of a hunt, you can. All right. Do I pull these just because she's being a butthead? I kind of think so. How about this? I'll make you a deal. If she gives us ringy roses, I'll take a picture of her. I bid you adieu. Sometimes you just have to press the button and it works. There's our photo. We got the bone. We got all of our pictures. We, if it's not a spirit, this is rigged. Very much so rigged. Oh, I can't. You know what? Because we have the extra life, I think we should. I need to make her hunt one more time. I don't know, man. It was way past the 3-minute timer, and it makes me so nervous about it, even though she evented in the room with us. Does the spirit have an ability? Pfft. The only way to know if you have a spirit is with incense. That's it. It's legit the only way. Okay. We've already seen this one before. Real original. You need to eat this. Enjoy your snack, ma'am. What the f— is this a shade? Am I being tricked? You notice she's hunting away from us every time? Not you, Shade. I'm going to smudge her this time, and then we are going to go sit somewhere else. Tell her to enjoy your snack. I tried. I have snack for you. Enjoy. Is that spot broken? Or is that spot okay? Anybody? Is that spot okay? Another smudge. Flashlight. We're gonna go somewhere else though. We're gonna get away from her. Loop it. For what benefit? You're actually up here? Let's go over here then. We'll go to the banana. Callie! Thank you for the biddies. Because she definitely came back to that spot for me, but then the next time she almost did and didn't. It is very much so wandering around a lot. Absolutely. We'll wait for the hunt. I have a spirit timer going. Play the piano. I got you. Just listen for the hunt, though. How? I'm really, really good. I took lessons. And then we go to the club. You take requests? Yeah, what do you want to hear? Car, every piano. Get an auto clicker, I should. Play Beethoven, you got it. Nothing. We have about 25 seconds left. And then I feel much more comfortable saying it's a spirit. I've had ghosts that did not hunt for over 3 minutes and it not be a spirit. So you just have to be careful. Adrift EDM, yeah. Is the piano spot fixed? I don't know. You might be too wide. The player models are like height-wise correct again, but width is not. What do you mean, did I do the real spirit test or the default smudge test? What do you mean? What made you change your guess? It walked in salt. Yeah, they can't do that. Super slow like Dio slow, but it wasn't a Dio. Guess what it was? Was it a spirit? For some reason? Okay, we've hit 3 minutes. It was a Jin? What? Like, do you see the delay? We're past 3 minutes. And it's like, yeah. Oh, are you talking about the smudge trick? Yeah, I usually do it this way. It's just easier to understand. High sanity from cards. Oh no. Oh no. I don't have high sanity, do I? No. No, cuz did I get any sanity after I Did I get any sanity after it hunted me last? Did I? Cross, what's up, man? Welcome in. Which piano song is that? That is the Music Box song, Adrift. It was written by Lavender. Yeah, one of the developers. I don't think I did either. And then it hunted. And then I was like, I'm gonna go set up. So I got my stuff and then I moved shop. And now it's not hunting. Like, what the f is going on? Can a double smudge delay the hunt timer? No, it should not. If this is double hit right now, that's a bug. Love the YouTube vids. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Dually, thank you for the biddies. If this thing is double smudged, that is a bug. Watch it be a loud miling, I swear to God. It's hunting now. I'm gonna have to figure out how long that was. Hey, Akarius Sunflower. Hello, friend. Ghost, do you want to hear the piano? Yeah, King Vaughn, of course, man. 6-minute timer, go! I'll have to go back and see how long that actually was. Oh, gross. Ew. No. No. Stop. Stop. No. Stop. Got all the photos. We think, okay, I'm gonna go spirit. If it's not a spirit, well, it's time to uninstall. Is that line of sight? Yeah, it was. It's obviously a demon. Okay.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
Still very curious why it waited so freaking long to hunt. That felt like double the spirit timer. I've had a demon take 5.5 minutes to hunt after a smoke. That's crazy talk. It's a chill. She's a chill lad. Yeah, Hunter, welcome in. I don't know, man. That was wild. What a freaking weirdo. But we were right. I was really hoping this wasn't something different. I just wanted to be sure because it was being extremely strange. But we got it right. We embarrassed her. I didn't mean to. What do you mean I embarrassed her? She made me miss the ghost photo twice. She did that to me. Ghostie's been acting weird lately. Yeah. Yeah, definitely careful, SpongeBob, when you go to hide somewhere, because there's a possibility that spot might actually be broken. You want to be very, very careful. Oh, my goodness. Pam did nothing wrong. She's a nice lady. When am I playing with my friends? I don't know. Random. feel congested. Give me a second. I'm blowing my nose. I'm going to sneeze too. Better. There we go. Better. King, what up, dude? Going well. Hi, Rain. Drinking a Celsius at 11. Me too. I'm just finishing it off. Yeah, thank you. Cal, thank you for the subs. My 6-year-old loving the repo stuff. Oh my goodness. Try to block out our cursing the best you can. Oh man. Oh my Lanta. Oh, if you guys get gifted a sub, please make sure to thank your gifter. Please, 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 forever and always. Nelly, thank you for the biddy. Oh my goodness. Are we good, friends? Are we doing good? Anybody need to sneeze? You okay? How long do I go live for? It's very depends. It very depends. School. It very much so depends on the day, and it depends on what's happening. Typically, I will usually be live until about 11:30 or midnight. I'm trying to be very careful about that so I can get enough sleep, because I've just been a 5-hour Andy for ages. Like, that's how long I sleep. I sleep for like 4 or 5 hours because I get done streaming and I want to work on things. So like, I'll immediately start working on things the second I'm done stream. I'll pop in, say hi to people, hang out for a little bit, and then boom, I'm working on stuff. And then I go to bed, and then I wake up, and then yeah. Depending on the day, I'm either waking up at 6 in the morning to take children to school and then go to work, or weekend. Yeah. Watch the video. Who's the most cursed player? Oh, poor coach. Poor coach. Hey, Mercury, how are you? How's it going? Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Avoid random. Yeah, seriously. Busy lad. I'm just selfish, man. I want to do it all. Kids don't take the bus? No. No. My two youngest children go with my wife to work because she's a teacher, so special permission, she can take them to there. And then my son, he goes to a middle school that basically specializes in the arts, and he's gonna be trying to get into a high school doing the same thing. So yeah, it's not far, it's not that bad. It's just having to wake up that early. It's become a habit at this point, but yeah, we gotta wake up pretty early. Yeah. Trying to give them opportunities. Copper, thank you for the subs, friend. Thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness. You sent me a friend request on Discord? That's not gonna do you any good, friend. My DMs are open. There's no need for, I don't add anybody on Discord because there's no need. Yeah. Mrs. Flash is doing well. She's doing well. She's very pregnant. She's very pregnant. There's no doubting that. Like, she was sitting there at dinner today, and you could see her stomach moving. You could see her stomach moving. So she's getting there. Middle school focuses on the arts. Well, they're very heavily invested in it. It's not the main focus, or like necessarily, but they're very heavily invested in it, which is great because he wants to be a theater kid. He wants to do shows. When does the baby due? June. You're having a kid? No, my wife is. And I'm not being sarcastic by any means, being a jerk and being a butthole. My wife is having a kid, and it is not our child. Yeah. You did the dirty. That's not my kid. Does she penguin waddle? No, she doesn't. No. She even walks around the neighborhood, like, looks, if she was facing the other direction, it looked completely normal. Surrogacy. Yeah. She's not the mom. I'm not the dad. Yeah. She's a baddie. She's pretty crazy. She's a pretty crazy bean. We love her. Yeah. Your kids spawned out of nowhere like Minecraft. Amen. All right. Let's do a new Bleezy. New Bleezy. Do I have new equipment? Rain, what are you up to, friend? How are you doing? How are things? Yeah, we're really excited, man. We're super excited for the couple. We're really, really excited for them. Do I have a P.O. box? I don't. I just never, I don't know. I never felt like I should have one. I didn't feel like I would ever get enough stuff to make a P.O. box worth it. I have Throne. I have Throne, which is a way to give things. If you ever feel inclined to do so, please don't ever feel that way. But I appreciate it. Spot like the kid ghost, yeah. Mess around with some music, doing chores, nice. So busy, 7 we don't play the new Bleasdale. You should, it is so good. The new Bleezy is so good. So good. Josephine! Oh, that's what we call my dog whenever she's being bad. Witness a ghost event, repel an EMF. Well, we're gonna go save Josephine. Little Miss Josie. All right, let's see if we have any orbicals on the outside first. Blood Moon, nice. Nice. Does New Bleasdale have the cobwebs when you die like Tanglewood? Found it. Yeah, it does. When you're in the death room, it does have the webs. And I don't think it should. We have orbs. Well, now that we know that we have orbs, let's take this guy, that guy. Let's see if we can quickly get evidence over there. So this. You know what? Hold on. I want to try something else. I want to try something different. I want to do this. This. And this. That side room again. Yeah. Yeah. You have a YouTube channel? Well, yeah. Because you're commenting on YouTube. So, of course you do. Oh, I don't have the power on. You know what? I don't want the power on right now. I don't want it on. I'm going to drop this here. I'm going to drop this here. I'm going to do this. Run. 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 If it's a mimic, the orbs follow the ghost instead of staying in one place. No, the orbs are tied to the ghost favorite room. They're not tied to the ghost location. So the ghost might be roaming around. That doesn't mean the orbs are roaming around with it. That's incorrect. All right, has not walked. Let's see if we can get some footies this way. It's over there messing with stuff. You see that? We're gonna try. Orbies are still there, yeah? Freaking better be. Freaking better be. Callie, thank you for the biddies. We have a step, but I don't see any UVs. Have we figured out if the spirit box can be used on the motion sensor lights? If the light is on, I don't think you actually can. I'm not 100% on that, but I don't think you can. I don't think so. Nix! Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. All right, I did not see any UV. We're going to pretend like there is no UV. So we're going to take book. We're going to take dots. And there we go. A hybrid demon has dropped in. Welcome in. Hi. Oh, what is happening? Kawaii. I'm sorry. Was this a planned? Or as Doc calls it, the Yermometer. Is that the shower? Whoa. Kawaii, how are you? Hello. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you just got ratted out. Look at the chat message before yours. Water running. Yeah, I think it did it through the wall. Yeah. It's doing the same thing it did before. I'm good. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Danny, welcome and thank you for the follow. I hope you guys had a good stream. I assume you played Phas, unless you were doing something else. Ah, yes, there's our orbital. Bright as could be. Where's my book? Is this the book? I can't tell. I should have put a better camera over there. And I didn't. Oh, you can see the water through the wall. Air tank in the storage room. Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, that's a good point, Hex. Yeah, that might be what that is. What's YouTube? What are why male models? Had no idea where any of the hiding spots were. The ghost ended up chasing me. I was scared of my life. I think that was most people when they first started this map. It's tough. If you don't know where the hiding spots are, it is tough. That's the book. All right, we're watching it for a sec. Next, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome in. Thank you so much again. Appreciate you guys. So anyway, welcome in. Hi, I am playing Nightmare. We're doing a bunch of solo Nightmare games. Anybody else see that? Was anyone else paying attention? I'm sorry. Am I going to get this without even going into the house? I might just call it a day. Like, I might not even try to... You missed it? Let's go over again. It's also a little bit laggy for me. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's me or not. It's been fine for the most part, but it was a little bit weird. I thought I seen that. You blinked. Dude, it happened real fast. Hold on. Here, hold on. Give me this. We will see. Scorby, thank you for the subs. Do it again. Do the trick. Josephine Huntley. Might be a mimic. You shut your butt. Hate to rain run. Oh, no, 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 friend. I appreciate you. You're fine. No, I appreciate you. Thank you. Please go relax. Go get some foods. Go get some hydrations. Go rest. All right, we see you there. A nice little like indicator to let us know it's here. I was watching the orb on the other side. Like the orb was further back. And then all of a sudden I saw this door just aggressively shut. And there's no one here. Oh, you know what? That's a good call, Saul. I mean, that's a good call. Saul, you're not Saul. Your car. That's a good call, car. Imagine. So we'll be at the ready. I never knew the ghost could outside of the house. Yeah, on this side, on this little pathway here, and in the back, the ghost can absolutely be outside. So you have two cameras when you first spawn in to the truck for this map that you can actually see the ghost room. UV would have expired by now, probably. Yeah. If we do get UV, my guess is that it would be on the other side. We assume this is a Ure. Yes. Clouds are moving fast. Yeah, it's windy. Windy weather, the clouds move real quick. Is it only on this map? With outside? No, there's other you have Camp Woodwind's outside. Maple Lodge is outside. You have the courtyard of Sunny Meadows is outside. This is the only house map that has an outside area. So the ghost can absolutely chase you down the side of the house. Yeah, for sure. Oh, the lighthouse. Yeah, the top outside. Good point. Thank you, Blondie. Yeah, you're right. Figured out Hantu will be mean AF when it's snowing out. Be living in its dream. See, if this is a Ure, it's not doing the thing anymore. Maybe Tanglewood will get, I don't know, maybe that little back area, maybe they'll actually make it accessible. I just don't know if they'll expand the size of the map. I don't think that they will, but we'll see. Oh, you're here. You're here. This is your time to shine. I just heard you throw a thing. If it's a mimic, that's so trolly. Freezing temps, maybe. Maybe. I have a thermo in there, right? Need to ask nicely. Josephine, can you please do your ability? It touched the door, but it touched the door down there. Hey, Pete. The hunts have been good, man. They've been good. Classic nightmare games. My favorite. Your dog is going to hear you. Oh, she's going to hear me. What did I do? We jokingly say Josephine, too. We never actually get mad at her. Pretty please. Can the Mimic copy the Ure front door thing? It surely can. Now, the cool thing, one of the rarest things you can run into in the game is getting a Mimic the Ure, shut an outside door, and leave a handprint on the door. The only ghost that could ever do that would be a Mimic. Through 360. Do you want me to be closer? Do you want to think you're cool, like slamming it in my face? Hello? Josephine? Huntley? Hello? Through 360. Ready? Didn't work this time. 3 hops this time. All right. What is the other evidence for a Ure? Freezing or dots? All right, let's go check that freezing. Watch it kill me, I swear to God. Right foot, let's stop. Oh, look, it's freezing. Cha-cha, real smooth. Boom, 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 boom. Slide and let. So, it is either a Ure or a Mimic. What's glitching on the side of the house? I think it opened up an air tank on the inside. It's going to do it when I leave. Swear to God. Power off. Don't matter with freezing. What do you mean? Check spirit box. Yeah, I think that's my plan. I think that would be a smart thing to do. Have I lost enough sanity to take these? I have. Yikes. The orb is still there. Ghosty's still chilling. That's a weird way to spell demon. Yeah. Obake, no. We have freezing and we have orbs. So it is either a Ure or it is a Mimic. So what we're going to do is we're going to double check spirit box. Double check some spirit box. We did not see ultraviolet. Just to be sure. Can't even take another one. Lovely. I have an EMF over there. We just haven't gotten it close enough to do the ting. All right, I got this. I got this. Let's take another flashlight for more light. Are you able to take the sanity medication if you don't lack? If your sanity is too high, you can't take the sanity pills. It depends on how much they replenish. All right. A sign of where you are would be sick. Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Where are you? Are you near? Are you here? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Are you near? Where are you? Definitely no UV. Definitely not responding to the spirit box. Where are you? Are you near? Where are you? Right here. Nah, nothing. Nothing. I think we actually have a Ure, but it won't do its ability again. Now I'm wondering what Hell's Help Desk would be like. Oh man, Sag. I kind of want to just go Ure and leave. All right, well, before we leave, we got to save Josie. for Yuri to leave? Yeah. Yeah. If you ever need to save Josie, oh, that's right, the power's not on. If you ever need to save her, she's on the left-hand side. She's on the right side of these plates of this little quadrant here. The middle one. There's Josie. Gotta save dog. Gotta save her. Bone hunt. We're gonna go Yuri and dip. That's a quick one. And I have ads coming soon, which is perfect. Had a Yuri earlier today that closed the front door on Edgefield in my face 5 times. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes they're awesome. Like this one's a butthole. It doesn't like doing the Yuri ability when I'm nearby. So it'll probably do it again if we're sitting here staring at it like this. Tip number 40 something. Always save Josie. That's right. That's right. Haunted Mansion would be cool. It would be cool. I'm wearing a Haunted Mansion shirt. All right. I'm going with it. For the sake of time, we're going to go for it. Right, Josie? Josie gets it. Shady Yuri.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
Yes, sir. We knew that this was a Yuri because it used its ghost ability on that outside door. And the only ghosts that can interact with outside doors outside of ghost events and hunts are Yuris or mimics. Mimicking a Yuri. But we were not getting Spirit Box. We weren't getting UV. I was not sold. So, Yuri. Yuri. All right. I have ads coming, friends. I'm going to go ahead and run them now. So if you don't have a sub, if you don't have turbo, I wait here in the lobby for you guys. I do my best to anyway. I do my best to. So 3 minutes, BRB. I'm so, oh my God, my allergies are so freaking, sorry. Oh, man. Just beat. Not Moe, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, man. Welcome. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now. Hopefully you can. Poopy doopy, yeah. So is the Goryo or the Yuri your most hated ghost right now? Probably Goryo still. I think Goryo has inched above Yuri. Yeah. If I had to pick one, I would say Goryo is definitely on the list of ghosts that I'm not a fan of. Yep. You know what I have not had happen yet? You know how they added the ability for the ghost to be able to ignite fires? I haven't been able to have that happen yet. Like, I have not seen that happen. Have any of you had that happen? They did? Yeah. Good night. Oh, good night, friend. Thank you, Blade. There's been some testing, and apparently it's only on some maps and broken mostly overall. What? Is Zero still here? Zero does a shit ton of testing. Do we know if Onryos can do that? I would assume no, but that's me making an assumption. Yeah. You've had it happen on camp. Really? Did it light the fire? What maps is a great question. Yeah. What do I do when I don't get any evidence? Use motion sensors to find out where your ghost is so that way you can get your evidence more accurately. If you're not getting Spirit Box, maybe you're not on top of the ghost. Main fire lit spooked me. Interesting. Onryos can't. Interesting. Okay. Hey, Donatello, welcome in. Watch all the YouTube vids. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. This week's been busy. I mean, there was a spell of a time recently where I posted literally every day for like over a week, but recently it's just been super tiring. Not tired. That's not tiring. I've been super busy, so I haven't even had time to do any. But yeah, we'll get back into it. Been able to force it using cursed objects on Point Hope and Bleasdale, but only after everything else has been removed, and it took many tries. That's annoying. That's annoying. Okay. I'm off to sleep. 2:30 in the morning. Oh, good night, Aaron. Get all the sleeps, friend. Get all the sleeps. I'm sure the patch notes said the firelight was only on Bleasdale for now. Did it really? No, because someone just said they had it happen on Camp Woodwind. Let me open Discord and double check what it was. Let me get the patch notes. Discord announcements? No. Change log. This was when they dropped the map, correct? Was it when they dropped the map? All right, ads are done. We're back. Yes. Please don't rework. New. Let's take a look together. Let us take a look together. Take a look in a book. Ghosts can now light any non-equipment fire sources such as fireplaces, campfires, and candles. So the ghost cannot light your equipment. It can't light your candles, your firelights, but it can light fireplaces, campfires, and candles on the map like Grafton has candles spread throughout. Now, on Bleasdale, I don't know how many lightable candles there actually are. There's a shit ton of fake ones. There's a lot of fake candles. According to the dev comment, mostly CJ, he does not believe that the Onryo can light firelights as it would not make sense. Yeah, but that's somebody that works with Kinetic Games saying he does not believe. Like, that's not definitive to me. Like, it should be someone from Kinetic going, this doesn't do this. He's not the programmer. Correct. Correct. Watching YouTube for a year now. Finally got to catch a stream. Welcome in, DZ. Appreciate you, man. But yeah, apparently, I mean, I have yet to see this happen. I don't know. I have yet to see that happen. Other people are saying that they have had it happen, but only after like removing literally every possible object that could be near a fire. Yeah. Kaizen, thank you for the gifted. So I wonder, like, if I were to spam play Camp Woodwind until the ghost was near the campfire, maybe remove all the objects and try then? Maybe I try that? I would like to see it happen. That'd be neato. That's a pain, though. It could be. But if I do this custom right here, the ghost can't hunt. Our sanity depleting doesn't mean squat. Can't move the guitar. You can't, but there's only so much there. Be down to science, yeah. Collect all the candles on a map. No, you can't move those candles anymore. You used to be able to back in the day. You can't do that anymore. Negative. Ghost Rider. All right, let's try. Also said that while in testing, the ghost lit the summoning circle. What? Do you have all the cursed on? I do. Yeah. So maybe remove all the stuff and use Frank and the cards. Let's try it. I want to see the ghost light the fire itself. Up the interactions. Wait, let me try that again. Hold on. That's actually a good point. I don't know if I do have interactions up on this one. Evidence. Wait, skip it up. Activity level. High. There we go. Now let's try. That'd be cool. Yeah. Wishing for activity might help too. Yeah, there might be ways of us getting this to happen. All right, let's go find out where Ghosty is. We need it near the fire. It's literally in the fire. Get all the stuff. All the stuff. Anything that I can physically pick up. Anything I can pick up, we're going to pick up. Let's see. Power is on, so I technically could also, to help myself out here, to do this. All right, you're not, I hear you. I hear you. All right, that can't be moved. There's a bottle over there. Skeet up, bottle. Missed anything? Everything is moved. This book, get out of here. This bowl, get out. All right. So. What a dick. I can't even see where the flashlight went. That was my light source? This is bullshit. What if I stand here? If it wants to a vent and all that jazz, that's fine. We want the ghost to light this itself. So what I might do is I might use Frank, or I could do, we could really, you know what? Hold on. Let's do this. Let's get this. Let's get this. Okay. So we're gonna try our best here. I wish for activity. Here it is. It's right here, buddy. Yeah, it's right there. Do the thing. Do the thing. That's not what I meant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a URA. Oh my god, dude. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem. I can't open the door. Huh. All right, well, we live here. This is our new home. Enjoy, friends. Locks the door. For the entire rest of the game? Okay, man. I need you over here, sir. Holy booba. Okay, for 2 minutes. I thought that wishing for activity just broke the breaker. Wish to escape? Oh, that's a good idea. I wish to leave. Oh, yeah. Nerd. Oh, no! It pulled me back in. Where is it? Dude, that's another physical ghost event. Are you... Oh, my God. Light the fire, you nerd! The breaker's the generator? Yeah. I'll play guitar for it. Come on. Come on. Here's your chance. Not sure what else I can do. Close the gate again. Oh, it's because it evented. Use the cards? Sure. Wait, did I grab the card? No, I didn't grab the cards. Supposedly ups activity. See a shade. Come on, man. Oh my god, I pulled 3 death cards in a row. Over here, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Come to Papa. That's right. Oh, jeez. I've given it so much opportunity. So much opportunity. This is all my inventory. I only have a flashlight. That is it. All this ghost is just itching to hunt me. It's really mad at this point. Bronco! Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Not sure what else you can do. Watch it actually be an Onryo. That'd be such a troll. That'd be so bad. The patch note says it only works on the new Bleasdale. Is that what it says? Let's see. What does the exact patch note say? So, per the patch notes, yeah, Reddit, right. Bleasdale Farmhouse. So here's Bleasdale. Several examples are, and then it lists these examples. Something else that is new is this. Right? I read this not as this is something new for Bleasdale. Note below. Oh, okay. Currently Bleasdale only, but these will be added to other locations over time. So who said that they got it to work at Camp Woodwind? Yeah, I totally skipped past this. Thank you for pointing that out. No, currently Bleasdale only. Yeah. He moved the window. I was peeking around the corner. So somebody, the reason we were even trying this is because somebody said, yeah, Camp Woodwind, it lit the fire by itself. Did you have a friend behind you with a firelight? I figured the note there was only for the lights with multiple switches. See, oh man, that's actually, Hope, that is a really good point too. Damn it. Isn't that note only for the last bullet? It could be. Yeah, you guys could be right. Somebody's lying. They might not be lying. No, that's not necessarily true. I think right now we're a little bit confused. What is the argument? So Zero, inside the patch notes, it had said the ghost can now light any non-equipment fire sources such as fireplaces, campfires, and candles. This is why I think this is everywhere. Let's read the note one more time. Non-equipment fire sources such as fireplaces, campfires. There is no campfire on the new Bleasdale. So this would make 0 sense for it to only be with Bleasdale. You see what I mean? Also candles. Every candle on Bleasdale's fake. I don't know how many real ones there are. Yeah. So this being listed like this, that's why I think it can happen. We've seen it work on Point Hope and Woodwind. Well, I'm at Woodwind right now. I have a ghost that has evented on me so many times at this frickin' fire and has not done it, and it makes me sad. Someone on Reddit said they got it on the campfire lit. Okay. It'd be cool. Did you get Slendy? Oh, maybe. I didn't check for Slendy. You see my breath. Like, we're with the ghost right now. Super, super rare voodoo doll helps. Well, about that. Maybe reset, see if it's an Onryo. Imagine. I swear to God. The last bullet points under the last patch note. Yeah, that makes sense. Can you put out a campfire when lit? No, the ghost has to blow it out. You break the mirror? Yeah, that's not going to do anything, though. No. If Ghosty can like those, that'd be cool. But like they were saying, imagine if this is an Onryo. I kind of want to do it for them. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to do it for the memes. Give an in-depth explanation. We think Onryo can still light the candles despite what we're being told. Well, what ghost? I mean, are we convinced that that was a Yurei door slam? I'm kind of feeling Banshee or Oni at this point, but whatever. We'll leave and we'll try again. If it's an Onryo, I don't know. It's just, that's why this stuff takes so much testing. And that's why there are people that dedicate so much time to it. This is all that, you know, that football throw was pretty yeety. I can't explain the one door shut though. Yeah, I can't explain that. All right, let's go see where it is again. Yeah, crazy ghost. Crazy ghost. Crazy ghost. Oh, you're over there. That's a little far. We'll try again. Was that for when you wished activity? I think it was before I wished for activity. What it might have been, I don't know. It might have been like an event. An event that was like a quick one framer. Take 3, fight. Son of a bitch. What settings are you running? I'm running a custom that's 150 speed with unlimited sprint. High activity. Yeah. Close the door locker for 2 minutes. Right. And no ghost hunting. Correct. Up. Default motor. You're right there. Yes, you are. All right, let's get all of your stuff. I'm getting it far away. This. Maybe try to get a blood out fire first. No, I'd love to not interact with it at all and the ghost choose to do it. Yeah. Oh, FPS and graphics. So my graphics are mainly default. I limited my FPS to 144 because it seemed like it was trying to force it to be something it's not. Give it a paw. Put the paw over there. Pick up the floating boner because that's life. Still a bottle. Thank you. Is that Slendy? Oh, hi, Slendy. He's here to see it happen too. Oh, no. Oh, he's there. Okay. I thought Frank glitched out. We're fine. Why is it called Lover's Bench? Because that's where all the lovers go. Where did you see a bottle? I said you saw a bottle. I hear you, bucko. Was it over here? I can't see. Oh, there it is. Got it. All right. Let's try. I wish for activity. No, over here. Can't reach that far. Goes fat. Can't see shit now. Where is my... Where's Frank? There's Frank. So maybe what I do... Trap the ghost to ask for activity. That might not be a bad idea. Nothing is happening. What is happening? Shark, thank you for the gifted. Maybe we do that instead. But again, I've got it. We'll be running it over and over and over again to get the ghost to actually be inside of the campfire. Flip the switch over to the right. It might be over there, actually, but I heard it over there. Watch it be a shade. I kind of want to leave. Yeah, we're going to leave. I'm not going to play that game. Slendy's watching. I know. He's just staring us down. I want to do it. I want to test for it, but I feel like it's going to take forever to get it correct. What are we trying to do? Trying to get the ghost to light a fire by itself. But to get that to happen, we have to be right place, right circumstance. I don't know exactly what it takes to get that to happen, but I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, Mr. Chingus. F that game. How dare. Probably one of those things with the mannequins. It doesn't happen often, very rare. Yeah, I still have yet to see it. It makes my heart sad. It makes my heart sad. Mr. Chingus, what are you doing, dude? Hello. Oh my goodness, I'm exhausted. Sat in my hiding spot during a hunt, holding my camera out. Oh no. You were just ready for the photo. That's all. You're okay. Ask Chingus to return up. I would never tell him to do those things. I heard him very clearly state why it was removed. If I heard correctly, it's because chat was not behaving. So uppies were gone. What's the easiest ghost you've ever identified? Camp Woodwind, no evidence. Looked at the camera, saw orbs, left. I'm gonna love him and squeeze him. Yep, there he is. There's his buddy. There's his little buckaroo. Did you do the wheel? I did. Yeah. There he is. Oh, man. As much as I want to continue forward, friends, I'm tired. It is almost midnight for me. I need to try to catch up on sleeps and stuff. YouTubes, we're going to end it there, man. I appreciate everybody, though. Thank you all so much for today. We had a lot of good chats, man. It was great. I appreciate you guys so much. We're going to go find someone to raid. We're going to cool it down on the Twitch side of things. I appreciate you. But stick around. We'll go find somebody to raid. All right. Let's go look at the Tweesh. Let's go look at the Tweesh. No, thank you guys. I appreciate you. Okay, looked at the papers in the office. It's all the same two papers. A poem, short story, some with extra inking over it. Are you going to post them somewhere? I would love to read it. Copper, good night, friend. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Again, if you shared stuff like talking about your journey, your health, again, be very careful about that stuff when you're talking about health and mental health. That if you're looking for advice, it's okay to get advice from people, but always take it with a grain of salt. No pun intended, because that was a health talk thing. But always be very careful that if you're looking for advice, you should really start to use to go to a health professional. Always. So late. No, you're fine, friend. No, you guys are awesome. You guys are awesome sauce. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mayor. Oh, man. Litards. It's a long week, Chingus. It was a long freaking week, man. but we here. If you guys are not in the Discord, by the way, I do has one. It is there in the chats and the rest of the socials. I'm going to try my best to get a YouTube video out tomorrow if I can. I'm ready for a week to decide to be short, right? Get caught up on some sleep and then play repo tomorrow night. Hey, yo. You never know. Rude catfish. Thank you for the gifted subs, dude. Thank you so much. That game is just, I don't know, man. It's so freaking fun. It is so fun. There are so many great moments to be had. It is so funny. People get days off. Gonna go do the Point Hope Easter egg. Do it, dude. That's 5 to 10 minutes of your life and you have an ID card. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna mute Tweesh. Hey, what's up, Atlas? How are you? But thank you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. We met our monthly goal. So next month we will have a viewer day. Guaranteed 100%. If we just so happen to reach the extended goal by the end of the month, we are going to have a 12-hour stream where the viewer games will be happening. So maybe we'll do a poll and decide when the viewer games would happen during that 12-hour period and go from there. Yeah. Oh, the 1198 was triggering. I appreciate you. Thank you. Repo Scratches. It's so good. It's so funny. It is just endless opportunity for entertainment, content, so many funny moments with friends. Oh, it's great. And I think it's even better the more you learn the game. So like I'm getting better, learning more about the tricks, how to use different things, try different stuff. And I think it's making it more entertaining. Throwing people in holes, trying to smash the one dude in the head. Hold on, wait. Let me pull up this clip real fast. It was from Glaze stream yesterday. Hold on. So these are the type of shenanigans that we were getting into. These are the shenanigans we were doing yesterday. Let's see. Unmute. Do this. Because Break was like, hey, you can join if you want to. Okay. Sounds like a good time.
He came back.
Faded, hi. I faded.
I tried, Clay.
Oh, sorry.
The
Get him! Oh god, he's just eating
getting
one.
under that table.
Bunk. Cause I don't want you anymore. I should have changed that stupid lock.
Right.
Should have made you leave the key.
Oh my god. It is too freaking good. It is so fun. Watching people kill the monsters, they don't even matter. Oh my god. It's because they do what Glay does and they build their strength up 17 times and they just smash the freaking thing over and over and over again. But it's so great. I don't know, man. I might play it on Wednesday again. I'm not sure. I don't know. All right, friends, let's go raid. Let us go raid. If you are a follower, the first message is for you. If you're a sub, the next one's for you. Creepy tier 3s, that's for you. Pengu, I appreciate you. I found my YouTube reels being filled with repo and I love it. Oh, that's my TikTok. My TikTok is just absolutely blasted with repo clips. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of repo, we're going to go raid our lovely friend, Mr. Vin. Mr. Vinland. Because he is playing repo right now with friendos. So we're going to go see him. You guys can see him for more shit. $135,000. What the fuck? That is how much they are putting onto the thing right now. What the dickens? Shit. All right, well, we're about to go into that. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's probably the mod they're using. Oh, they're doing crowd control. Oh, that's cheating. That's cheating. Although, listen, I do like the idea of trying this with crowd control. That could be fun and chaotic. Okay, that makes more sense now. Well, I guess we're going to get a first-hand taste of what that would be like if we decided to do that. If Vin is using crowd control, don't forget to claim your free coins and to cause absolute chaos. Just for fun. Oh, yeah, I'm 100%. All right, friends. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to copy my own raid message. Hold on. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. We're going to go hang out with Vin for a bit. I have PTSD from this community. Crowd control. Listen, they love you. They want you to have fun. It's fine. Oh, I will be causing chaos. I might be purchasing some coins. So we'll see how it goes. Night break. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the subs, for the raids, for the follows. You guys are amazing. Baseballs. I'll see you on Sunday. Goodbye.